But the go live got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal. I got my reach. Said I was gonna get it. They gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Can't stop, I can't now. Hold on, let me get the breakdown. Train to go like a K now. I'm about to let my light shine. We piped up till the pipe down. These niggas selling pipe dreams. Baby girl, you sweet as ice cream, and I need, you better believe. Sit back, look at my cheeks. Why you had to take my demeanor? Competition ain't free. I'm about to take him to the cleats. They gon' get started depressed. Please not start no mess. These niggas petty, and I'm not impressed. I have him holding his chest, like he having heart attacks. Told you I'm hard to death. I know that they see it, but they don't believe. Look at him so misleading. 144, mission complete. We undefeated, you better believe. Fuck being equal, I'm unique. Drop a line note, like a bomb motor. Prepare for the fallout. One way solid, what you talking about? Me and my nigga bout to ball out. These little niggas better bow out. Tell them rank up, tell them fall out. I'm on my job, I can't call out. I'm in the winter, want it all now. Don't give a damn about the track record, little nigga, you about to lose today. Look, I got moves to make. You can even move, you can get moved away. Choose your fate. Most of these fools, they fake. Ain't got a card to play. Nigga, ain't hard to break. It's gonna get dark today, like the rest of Sean told the harder way. Nigga, way out of your league, please believe. But the go live got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal. I got my reach. I'm gon' get it, yeah. Know they gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Sick with it, now you know that. Fuck the world, I can't go back. Ain't no coward, I don't know that. Bitch, I'd rather take a toe tag. Run it up, you know I'm good to go. Work my ball, you know I'm good as gold. They want smoke, I'm revenge naked in my bedroom doing the Tootsie Roll. Big dog niggas, I'm trying. It's my time, you way out of line, way out of bounds. Oh, you ain't noticed the line. That on my flow is a pound. I know it's gon' be stressed. I know it's gon' be pressure. Gotta stay focused. It's a cool word, baby girl. I should be a soldier, you should be my loaded. It feel like something controlling me, spirit take over me, holding me high with it. Believe me, it's over, look over my shoulder, and I see my soldiers, and they ain't no play. Keep spitting fake, he real, but I'm realer. Fucking leader, I don't feel him. Fucking God, I don't feel him. Cut his eye, I'm about to kill him. Wait, hold up, let me catch the rhythm. Okay, I got it, I'm ready. He cross that line, he gon' regret it. No high rock, I rock it steady. Hope he keep it going steady. You better believe me, certified, one west solid, it ain't hard to test. Can't let this hard as hell. These people raise this nigga, better watch yourself. I'm getting this milk, chasing them blue faces like I'm Gargamel. And I work too hard to fail. Glock with me, gotta guard yourself. You know why I keep it, they try to come get me, I'm squeezing, you better believe. But the go live got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal, I got my reach. I'm gon' get it, yeah. Know they gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Like that. Yeah.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh? You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough enough. I don't think y'all really wanna fuck with us. I told you we no bitches. I'ma need for you to listen while I paint this perfect picture. We not Christians, watch your mouth. Have them angels in your house. And them people bring you out. Bitch, you know we got that power. And you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that bullshit? Well, I'm on it too. Oh, you think I'm bullshitting? Wait till I get with ya. If I gotta go to ground, I'ma shut the town down. I ain't about to stop until I hear stand down. All you gonna see is a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord, of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All ground, we go to ground.
As I live, if I live, let me make one thing clear. The Lord is the only man I fear.
We are not the same. No, we not related. I'm not stuck on living. Death is a vacation. My camp undefeated. You cannot debate it. You just want the clout. We just want the greatest. I'm just trying to get it. If not, I'm trying to take it. Give me that. I say fuck the devil. You think I'm talking Satan? One West in my blood. I'm a UPK creation. We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go to ground. You dealing with the men of war. We at war.
They know
I
about that
sided
shit.
with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground.
144,
we go
nigga.
to ground.
You see me riding with them people I be sliding with. We take the truth, ain't no denying it. It's this fire I spit, I got that line script. I put that pressure on them, about to put extra on them. This how the Lord is doing you. Boy, I tried to warn you. We go to ground, I own your time, yeah. You wanna blaze, we in them last days. They tried to keep my niggas locked up in them cages, yeah. I'm in pages, yeah. In them scriptures, yeah. I'm gon' flip it, yeah. I got that shit rockin'. I got that bulletproof hearted spirit, yeah. Retarded with this Glock, I'm gon' give it to you. You with them niggas that's gon' go to ground. Take over and you know your place. Make no mistake, there ain't gon' be no trace. Ain't gon' be nothing left. Spit to my last breath. Boy, better watch yourself. I'm coming with lashes. Hey, leave them niggas in them ashes. I'm flowing like Cassius. They killing the masses. It's cool, cuz when I meet the king, we gon' be masters. Yeah.
I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. One body, one faith, one Lord. Feel like I can take over the world with one sword. 144,000 men on one accord. Not being in this army is something you can't afford. Real niggas across the board, ain't no suckers round us. You was looking for the truth, well that's how you found us. Now it's time to lace your boots up. We got the order from the king, round the troops up. Let's go to war and die defending this nation. If we gotta, ain't no stopping us now. The chosen people of the power, standing strong like a man. Cause in our camp it ain't no cowards. 144 grand, nigga is step before dishonor. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. I'm sick and tired of watching niggas get smoked. Work 80 hours a week and then a nigga still broke. Don't let that same nigga try to sell dope. They give him 100 years and then that nigga can't cope. Murder she wrote, they got their foot on our neck. We don't own no damn land, but yet we reppin' our set. Are you prepared for what's next? Babylon is falling. Esau has to fall so Jacob can get the ball in. Many are called and all, I'm standing tall. I just did a roll call and all my dogs, we all in. 7,000 men who haven't bowed to idols. Remember that we them people they talked about in the Bible. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. Hearing lies on the news and lies from the reverend. I might not be a nigga by the time I get to heaven, man. It's time for the truth. I'm tired of oppression. They won't call me a nigga by the time I get to heaven. Hearing lies on the news and lies from the reverend. I might not be a nigga by the time I get to heaven, man. It's time for the truth. I'm tired of oppression. They won't call me a nigga by the time I get to heaven. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power, 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. 144,000. I'm just trying to make 144,000. Rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward. There's a ghetto up in heaven and it's ours. Black power.
Time, man, shit. Make sure you let these niggas know what time it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Get on this motherfucker. Let these niggas know what time it is, you understand? We royalty. What's the name?
King Ty really one of the realest. I survive drive-bys from them killers. Like I got 9 lives, I got 9 wives. I said fine wine with them bitches. I'm spitting fire bombs in your city. I got like 8 or 9 niggas with me. And we all ready to die in a minute. One West, we the best in the business. I get offended, I fuck niggas spend it. Talking they get it, but niggas is timid. Rappers is softer than linen. Catch me out parking lot pimping. What more could I give them? I've been the hottest forever. Why would I lie about cheddar? I could do better. I just put loyalty first. Royalty coming whenever pull off in the Jetta. Curvy, she on me, you sweater. My feel like wearing a sweater in summertime weather. Haters so salty, no pepper. You not that seasoned or clever. I'm with the rebel. Used to pump bass with the treble. Baking a cake in a kettle. I used to cook up the work. Now I just cook with the metal. Gotta keep foot to the pedal. Yeah, let me give it gas on the highway. Let the music blast on a calm day. Break the Glock down into 3 parts. Put the 3 together like my Najee. Just like Bombay with my enclave. Got my mind made. Ain't no time waste. No. Eating prime steak with a fine date at a fine place. Getting violated.
Hey, listen. Already told these niggas, you understand? I call up King Ty, he say what's up, I say what's good, my lord. Listen, he like, listen, these niggas ain't ready for none of this, you understand? I said, listen, if the nigga ain't one West, he ain't got it on his arm or his chest, I don't give a fuck about the nigga. It's just me and my niggas, we royalty, yeah.
I got the hammer, you running, man. Come through your window like rubber man. Snapping your neck like a rubber band. Talk to my jaw like the sun is saying. He told me murder you rappers. Uppercut sending you vertical actors. Y'all got me coming with verbal attackers. I might attack you type physical too. So y'all be rhyming the way y'all be shining. I'm blinding these rappers like Mr. Magoo. These haters miserable, we indivisible. Look at these haters like they got no clue. No clue. They hold up ones in them W's. Really, bro, don't get too comfortable. If you ain't cut from the cloth, co-signed by the boss, then we do not fuck with you. Cause you wouldn't last here. I told you the same shit last year.
Already told.
Keep talking that trash, I have a car, come kick your ass in.
Already know.
Your jaw like glassware. We pull up, not rocking no mask there. Don't care if you spot us, you know how you got us. It's over, you saying your last prayer.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. You will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my daughter safe. You harm them, you will find me on number 48. Sitting in that room, hear the interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it, I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me, I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraphs or forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to get salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pull me from the dirt and from the mud, it's gone because of who? Y'all rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid. Plus 10. Put me in the Supermax, I get super jack, working out every day, canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Still my fate, I do anything to keep my brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gave they all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men with honor up on their name. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. What only make it worse is loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I'll do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
Take a second, we reflecting with the light, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, nah that's alright. I got the right at birth, the devil's redefining worth.
Someday you'll pay the price.
No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making though, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue, guess who's on this instrumental with you? Gives a damn if we was family, view unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist, they slayed the man, I swayed the Tim like here I am, the son of Sam is taking shot to David Berkowitz. Pussy. Discipline existed in this New York state of mind. Say since not no not the actor, but the year we's effort. Not one thing in mind to grind until this gavel turned his words to mirth from Babel.
Since 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on guy bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice, you vouching for the enemy, but look, My father ain't have a father cause of dope, I'm anti-politics. Cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways to seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vest dipped in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush. I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't serve another God. Cold-blooded.
Yeah. We on the inside once again, Saturday night live on Black Watch, holding down for Commander GEN.YAHANNA, the hardest working man in Israel. Might stop on through tonight for sure. You know what I mean? Come and help us light it up this weekend. You know, this tonight the table's stacked, it's slanted. It got a little bit heavier in the last 20 minutes. I felt the shift, you know what I mean, like the San Andreas fault. You know what I mean? So tonight for sure we have on the inside here Captain Natak as usual. You know what I mean? Tonight he coming from space. You see him in the back there, the spaceship. Of course, Captain God coming on true. You know what I mean? Poking holes. I see them holes behind there.
Oh man, you ain't seen nothing yet, Cap. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Of course, we are the Midwest. I don't know what we gotta get a whole new game for your the posse, the hitters, I don't know what it is right now. That front row right there, boy. That row just gets amazing. Excellent job. Of course, everybody y'all know.
That's
you know what I mean, the big priest from the Midwest, the Midwest Monster Mayhem. You know what I mean? My brother, Captain Malquad.
Mozart, right.
Holding them about 5-6 states. You know what I mean? Rocking it out. You know what I mean? Y'all know Malquad down here. Pull them, every brother out of the ground through the grace and mercy of the Most High. And of course, learning from Commander GEN.YAHANNA, the generals. You know what I mean? We have Captain Kapash right next to him there. You know, had a monster lecture this weekend on World War III. You know what I mean? That's why all the brothers down there in Indianapolis. Yeah, Captain the Gabar. You all know him. He feeds the nation. You know what I mean? He feeds the nation right there. And of course, that Negro in the middle there, in the green.
Yikes.
Yes, sir.
Captain 10,000. Balthazar. Ill because he's sick. Not I'll. Ill Aban. Yeah, I mean, congratulations, priest. Excellent work, brother. Excellent work, excellent work. You know, I took my Balthazar down there to Trinidad. He nearly slammed dunk the whole island. He was down there and caused problems, you know what I mean? Who else is in the back there? I see Kodas Zion in the back there. Another brother who went down Trinidad with money. Them women wanted to kidnap this brother. Them sisters from Venezuela grabbed this brother up quickly with the quickness. Yeah, I mean, and Yaradan right next to him, another solid brother there on the Captain Mao Quad. Who we are in the back there? Asham Quash.
Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead, Hebrew. What's going on, Hebrew? What's going on, Hebrew? You know what I mean? For sure, it's a glorious night as usual in the Israelite school at UPK. It's always a good day to be UPK. Always a good day to be UPK. You know what I mean? And for sure, you know what I mean? As we take ground in this kingdom, they're gonna come back hard. They're gonna try to do their pride shit and all of that nonsense. But we gonna always talk about it. We gonna always scream at the top of our lungs, you know what I mean, and get them hell right back. So, you know what I mean? Where you all want to start this weekend, Akim?
Man, I don't know. If you want to start with the what you call it again, with statistics.
With the mass shooting, because that shit, listen, I know Kapash probably covered some of that in that World War III lecture. But them shootings, what was the stats again? How much shootings was from the cops or something like that? Or
yeah, I think it was like no, it just telling about the cops and the you know what I mean, and the work they putting in on black people.
They working over hard. I think it's number where we at? Number 10, I believe. Yeah, number 10. Yeah, we have some good stories tonight. You all know this is the beginning of that Pride Month. That whole Pride Month, they all bastardizing the rainbow. And you know what I mean? We could never ever get to breathe without them. This weekend, they blocked about 10 streets off in DC, so we can't get to camp.
Damn.
Mayor right there in the center where we speak. I'm like, this bitch, she done watch the videos from last year. She's like, she gonna defend them Sodomites today, boy. Right. You know what I mean? They've seen them down there doing nothing.
Well, Cap, we could start with that. Since them
listen, we definitely
start with that.
We definitely should. I want to save some of that for Command GEN.YAHANNA, because I know he was just talking about a story with how they talking about giving out welfare and assistance to the LGBTQ. Yeah,
okay. We could you know what I mean, pull it up as I say. You got some good stories. Yeah,
we could run through some of the other stories. It could be shorter ones real quick, and then save that one for sure. Yeah, Kazaki, you want to go ahead and try to read that one?
Kawakan. 1,049 people have been shot and killed by police in the past year. In 2015, the Washington Post began to log every fatal shooting by an on-duty police officer in the United States. In that time, there have been more than 5,000 such shootings recorded by the Post. After Michael Brown, an unarmed black man, was killed in 2014 by police in Ferguson, Missouri, a Post investigation found that the FBI undercounted fatal police shootings by more than half. This is because reporting by police departments is voluntary, and many departments fail to do so.
Damn, so like they could shoot you and they don't have to really report the shooting. They don't have to come out and say, well, yeah, we had so and so much fatal shootings this month. They ain't required to do it as protocol. Meanwhile, in here, I mean, every brother in here is a camp leader in his own right. Y'all know how long that counsel would be when you don't report an incident, much less a shooting. Imagine an incident in here is, details, what happened, who, what, when, where, what time, who was there, and even if you say it, even when you report it, You gotta run it right back again. You get the same questions from what right back. Who did what? Who did where? But these bastards could take a life and not even have to, you know, report it. It's insane.
Yeah. And a sad thing about it too is, you know what I mean, only in the UPK, you know what I mean, things like this would not be swept under the rug. You know what I mean? Things like this being brought out in class at camp. But you know what I mean, I can't say that for the Christian church or the mosque. They don't give a damn about these things that are going on. We've been telling black people, the cops, you know what I mean, they've been killing us, you know what I mean, at a alarming rate. And when you read this, you'll truly get to understand the oppression black people and Hispanic people are under, and Native Indians. The article left out the Native Indians. But brother, I'm telling you, we under severe oppression.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Mark.
No, I just want to say what Cap bringing out so heavy, man. If it wasn't for the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, like you said, these type of different things, man, will be swept up under the rug. You know what I mean? So this is proof. What we've been doing since 1969. We damn near the only people that's crying out, you know what I'm saying, about the issues and problems that plague blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. You know what I mean? So we like the last ones going to war, you know what I mean, for our people. So what Cap bringing out is extra heavy.
Yep. So Salaki Nas, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I finish.
Yeah, it's like nobody don't care. Like if this was any other race of people, they would have it would have been mandatory to report shooting Chinese or, you know, or Jewish people. But with us, you know, I'm sure we disproportionately take up a certain percentage of these numbers. You know what I mean?
And if I could,
please.
This was always an arguing point that I never really got to battle with just yet. When people always pull out the statistics and say, this statistic of black on black crime, this statistic of this by the criminals, is this many robberies, this many that, I always wanted to tell them, you can't trust them statistics because look who writing them.
Right.
Look whose statistics who telling you. The white man telling you. When he gonna ever tell the truth about the statistics?
Right.
He'll shoot 20 people and say, you know, a lie about it.
Right.
He lied about so much. So this goes more to that. So when I do battle somebody, I'm gonna bring it out and say they don't report all the things they do wrong.
Yeah.
They doing all type of crimes and they not reporting it. And then when they pull the crimes to us on the news, they paint us in any picture.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so like you can.
No, go ahead.
Khan. And also too, if it was any other race, especially his race, the oppressor's race, they would have some referendum. They would have some law. They would have been trying to do something about it, like what they're trying to do right now, pertaining to the whole gun violence that's taking place in America right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'd have been sitting down trying to come up with something to curb the amount of deaths or the amount of killing these oppressors are doing. They would have something out there. You know what I mean? Just like with the I don't know if you remember the camera incident back then in DC. Remember when Dwarf tried to, you know what I mean?
What's his name? What's his
Weinstein.
Weinstein, boy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna forget that name. Weinstein. When he took the camera from us unlawfully, the next week they were there making memorandums in DC pertaining to cameras. You know what I mean? Civilians and their cameras, and how to go about doing it, taking it from them, or you know what I mean, which let you know they, you know what I mean, they try to bring laws in to help their people, just like the opioid. You know what I mean? We've been had a drug problem, but since your oppressor has a serious drug problem right now, there's an issue, there's a talking point about it, and they you know what I mean, and they want to do something about it now. But with us, when it comes to us, and I blame the Christian church. The Christian church is the reason why the oppressor is able to do what he able to do to us. You understand? your black leaders. They're the ones. You know what I mean? They're the traitors. You know what I mean?
And because they don't require no sort of repercussions or any kind of fallout, any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not accountability. They don't require to come forward and say, you know, I apologize from this, or you know, this man he gonna lose his job and he go out to pay this back. They don't really require it from nobody because our life is real cheap. You know what I mean? Our life is super cheap from them. If I could just get one scripture there in the meantime. Just remember, like with these statistics, this year is let's say after 1,049 so far for the year, and this was the one from Chicago April crime report for 49 murders, you know, shootings down 13.97%, shooting victims down. Like this is how they put out their stuff, you know, when they to try to make themselves look good. Like, you know, the shootings is down and blah 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 in Chicago, but what about all the shooting you doing? What about all the murder you doing to black people that goes unjustified? Well, where was it last year where they caught the brother? I think it was Chicago, a young brother. He was running from the cops in the alley. He threw the gun. The cop shined the lights on him, and as he putting up his hand, put two in his chest. The brother died right there. Was a teenager, young boy. Yeah, like, young Latino brother. You know what I mean? Like all the killing they do. And if I could get Romans 13 and give me Romans 13 and start at 3.
And Salaki Cap, while you getting that too, just like Kapash was saying, you know what I mean, like they're fixing the statistics. They're fixing it. They're not reporting everything. So now they can't, you know what I mean, five fewer than 2021. Come on, give me a break. You know what I mean? Nah.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me get Romans chapter 13, verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Like this year is for us to now recognize who our oppressor is, who the devil is, and who our power is. Like now we gonna have to learn to turn back to the Lord now, because like this man, he murders for a living, like the scripture says. He gonna get everything by the sword. And the Lord done blessed him with the sword. There's no fighting him carnally. And you're gonna have to fight him spiritually, which is number one, turn back and serve the Lord. Go ahead.
Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same.
Right, you obey the Lord. Like you could escape the plagues that comes to visit this house. That's why the Bible said, "Come out of her, so you do not take part of her plagues." Right, and the Lord do not drive by in America, and you might get hit with a stray bullet. I'm telling you, leave the house, man. Leave that house. Go ahead.
For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain.
Like this fool here, boy, he carries that sword on his hip, that gun on his hip, and every method to murder us. And he's not carrying that in vain. You see how quick they reach for that gun? They don't grab that taser. They don't grab the mace first. They don't grab nothing else first. But that thing to put you to death, because he's not carrying that in vain. We got to recognize the empire we living under. We got to recognize the type of people we living under and turn back to the Lord, because he is itching to kill us. He is itching to murder us. I was watching the interview with the sister who jumped over the fence in Uvalde. The one who they arrested, they put the handcuffs on. They arrested her. And then, you know, she got all the handcuffs somehow. I think they say one of the cops said, let her go. And she ran into the school. And they outside the school like this. But when it's one of us, they ain't hesitating to use that sword. Like, we got to recognize now what this place is wired to do. This system ain't broken. It's working fine. It was meant to murder us and kill us and slaughter us in the streets. Now is the time we really had to, you know, separate from them and go back and serve the Lord. Because he carrying them, he going on the range, not in vain.
Right.
He loading up them guns, not in vain. He invented all new kind of bullets, changing the ballistics on them thing, not in vain. He wants to use them, and he wants to use them on us.
Damn right.
You know, man.
Hey, Captain Shark, if I could,
please,
what you bringing out so heavy, man. You know, our people got to understand. Of course, Captain Kapaj, speak up to this brother. He just had the Third World War lecture. You know what I mean? As the brother is having the lecture and talking about the different countries that got nuclear weapons, in my mind, I'm like, what is it? What nuclear weapon do we have as Black Hispanics and Native American Indians?
Right.
Most may think we don't have none, but that's not true. Our people got to realize our nuclear weaponry is the law, statutes, and commandments, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the weapons that we need during this day and time right now. You know what I'm saying? Today, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I got to bring it up one more time. Big up the captain, the Potter's Isle of Bond getting raised up. The truth got strength today. We got another warrior, you know what I'm saying, to go out there and go fight for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, to wake them up, for us to realize our place during this day and time. But we for sure in the last days, man. You're seeing all these things that's done to our people. It basically will drive you insane to see these things constantly happen to your people.
Right.
And if I could add on and say something too, they pushing out. This is Gay Pride Month now. They pulling like this is the Gay Pride Month when it was starting to turn into another Black History Month, in my opinion, with this Juneteenth stuff. And I was liking it. I'm like, yeah, Juneteenth this, Juneteenth that. You know, blackity black, black, black. Let's get it on. Now they trying to make it a gay. It's the Gay History Month or Gay Pride Month. They always trying to kill us in some way or the other. Either trying to kill our spirit or they trying to kill us physically. With the gay pride stuff, they trying to kill our spirits. They trying to kill our masculinity, which is us.
Right. Yeah.
Trying to kill what makes us, you know, a people.
Mm-hmm.
And we ain't gonna let them get away with it. That's right.
You so right about that too. Like imagine, like, you know, they had their Pride Month all the time, but it's so damn near like diabolical, because they're going to mix that rainbow with Black power and Black pride. They're going to do it because it's the only way to make their lifestyle palatable. You know what I mean? Like Black people are Muslims because Israelites made Islam popular. Right. Black people was growing dreads because or Rastafarianism became popular because Israelites made dreadlocks clean and appealing to people.
Right.
Buddhism in America became popular with that. Everything they want to make popular, they put it on our backs, and we run that race for them. So this rainbow is no different. They're going to pin it on our backs, and you know, because of our leaders, we're going to run the race for them and make it popular and make it acceptable. And even the argument for the rainbow songs so much cookie cut like a civil rights speech. We'll fight together, and they can't marginalize us. They can't do it. Sounds like, you know, just like another Black speech, like you know, you taking my physical rights, please.
Yeah, what you're saying is so right, Captain. A lot of these fabricated minority groups that Esau is raising up now, they're just saying people of color, the LGBTQI plus community. I was looking at the whole thing with the Juneteenth, the ice cream, and they had the red, black, and green on the ice cream. You add a few colors and you have a rainbow. It's all in the optics, and which is why the Lord talks about image in the Bible. The images, it's all spiritual, like you bring it out, and how they control our image and our likeness through these movements. And these movements definitely are not of the Lord, because you see where it takes us off the course. It takes us off the straight and narrow, and it makes it broad. And like the scriptures say, narrow is the path to life. Paraphrase. Broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So like,
You're so right, Aggie. The whole thing, it looked like a goddamn, like it wanted to be a rainbow. Like it's coming through in a way to be a damn rainbow. You know what I mean?
Right.
And listen, they're gonna fight to put this ice cream back on the shelf, and they're gonna add the Asian hands. They're gonna add some Korean hands, and they're gonna be a whole "We Are the World" type ice cream. And all of a sudden, in 50 years, Juneteenth would be about, the unification of all oppressed people.
Right.
Not the fact that they lied to people they kidnapped.
Right.
And if I could, we went to an event called Melanin in May, and it was a blackity black event.
What's the name of the event?
It was called Melanin in May.
Good night. They're getting creative with that thing. What we gonna spoon in June?
Well, it had like 100 booths, had like 1,000 black people there, but I was noticing the high concentration of lesbians with dreads and homosexual men and men that were dressed like they had a band. It was a lesbian woman and a guy. It was one that was like you couldn't even tell what it was.
Right.
It was like a man, guy, girl.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, damn, that could be a girl or really a guy. They doing this, she doing both, or he doing both. And I was noticing they trying to really take over the culture movement. They trying to the gays and the homosexuals are trying to move in and be speakers for us. I've noticed also in the clubhouse that they be having rooms, and it's a gay black man running the room talking about black issues. He got a gay black man with about 20 females, and then everybody else. But the gay black man running the room, like they trying to subtly make with the Black Lives Matter, with the mix. How the Black Lives Matter is like damn near coincidence with the gay movement.
That's right.
Like the LGBTQI movement.
Right.
That's right.
So they really trying to have them be the authority in the black community. They have the rallies. It's a gay. It's a dyke. Doing the speaking. Come on, do this. Come on, black people. Come on, people. We need it. It's a gay doing it.
Right.
And so they push. That's getting pushed in this empire where they're kind of being pushed to the forefront to be speakers of some sort. Like they speaking out for justice and speaking out for us. All bad things happen to us. They speaking out for it. We don't need y'all to speak for nothing for us.
Right.
We don't need the LGBTQI to speak for nothing for black men and the Israelite school UPK and our people. Like, yeah, you can't mix us.
Salaka, if I could amplify what Captain Kapash said, is so what you're saying, your observation is correct, because they now have is once again they hijacked the civil rights movement was already hijacked, but they have to do it again under a new identity, and then now they have to use our struggle as a template, because our struggle as Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people is the only authentic struggle when you talk about oppression.
Right.
Our story, which is why this Bible is so important. Like our struggle is these other movements have no authenticity, none whatsoever.
Right.
When we ask them, and a lot of them clash with us, and they say, "Well, you're starting a culture war." We didn't start a culture war. We in a culture war. But it's a war that we didn't start, I might add. We didn't start this. You started. And you joined the oppressor to go against your own people. And I noticed about these LGBTQI plus or minus mafia group that we always clash with, especially this month, because we're going to clash. And you may see a rainbow on fire. Who knows? It just may catch on fire. I don't know how it's going to do it. It may happen. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this. These gay, trans, Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian people, they don't forget their race. They love to say, "Well, I'm a transgender," or I'm gender fluid. They never use the word. They never say race fluid, because they have to hold. That's their only authenticity they hold on to. So I'm a gay Black trans,
right,
or Black this or Black that. They don't forget their race, because that is their connection to us. But if you identify with their community, you are cut off. If that's what you're going to identify with, you have to serve the Lord and take hold of your nationality. So I just wanted to amplify what Captain Kapat said about the gay people speaking on black issues, like they are part of us. No, you separate if you're gonna identify with that. You can't play both sides of the fence.
Exactly.
The Bible, what the Lord is saying, you got to be hot or cold. If you lukewarm, He gonna spew you out. You can't have the best. If they say I say the worst of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they want to do. So like, I yield.
You're right, Doc. Like they're gonna now choose this side, and because it's convenient, still try to be black and benefit from everything. Like once again, this is why masculinity in the earth has to be preserved. Like a man's masculinity is so precious because a man is a man when it's snowing and when it's summer, when it's fall and when it's spring. Like that tree outside is a tree in all weathers. Right. It's not going to change into nothing else. And that's what a man is. He's who he is today, tomorrow, all the way. That's the spirit of the Lord. I am the Lord. I cannot change. And that's what they brand as toxic masculinity. Right. Like you don't want to compromise. You too extreme. Because I don't change, I'm extreme. You get the point? Like they want you, as you say, to be so goddamn fluid for everything. Right. And we ain't fluid for nothing. Because what happens when I'm in the Kroger's or the Walmart and somebody come in and me and my brother, we had to communicate non-verbally so we could take down this active shooter. I'm supposed to rely on him? He might decide that day he is not male, female, black, or white. He is bullets in the active shooter gun or to the active shooter. He might just flip on the other. Who knows what the hell he'll do? Because he's not masculine. That masculinity has a lot to do with being rooted and solid in a foundation. It has a lot to do with it. And it should be preserved. Like you can't say I have toxic masculinity at all. You can't say that because you're really trying to take down the defenses of my home. Right. So now you're trying to turn my home against me and say this is toxic and use it as propaganda. And he's good with his words, this oppressor. Right. He's good with that gun and he's good with his words. By the time he done describe something to you, like you taking that phrase and running with it. That's like so much phrases he come with toxic masculinity. What the hell is that?
Right. If I could, it's a lie, Cap. What you're saying is so right because, okay, if you have a military or a military mind, you can weaponize almost anything, including words.
Yep. And
that's what we're in a perpetual state of war, and he weaponized those words, toxic masculinity. But you never hear those predatory words attached to their community. Mm-mm. But that's why the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, we are a firewall to this nation. That's what leaders are for. Right. To keep certain things, gates to keep certain things out. You try to go to a gay movement and try to speak on their issues and tell them what their problem is and how to fight about gay issues. You try that as a heterosexual black man. Watch how they treat you. Mm. Like they're allowed to come in our space. We're dealing with black people's issues and talk about how we supposed to fight. But send some of that LGBTQ money you getting over here.
Right.
They won't do that, but they will try to govern your suffering. You know what I'm saying? Toxic masculinity, what the hell is that? You understand? When we gonna talk about the dark side of the rainbow? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how much domestic violence. They don't want to have that conversation. Right. They don't want to talk about that shooter, how he wore a dress, and how he cut his face. Mm-hmm. And it's ironic because some of the same people who can't look in the mirror, they feel better about looking in the camera and going live where everybody can see them, but they can't look in the mirror in private. There's some irony in that. You understand how we know that it's an unclean spirit, right? You know what I'm saying? We're not gender fluid, like Captain Mashak said. We stone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We solid rock over here, man. Yep. You understand? And they want to talk about the dark ages and talk about we in the stone age. And you said it a long time ago, Captain. The stone is the foundation.
Yeah.
You understand? We ain't building our house on sand.
Yeah. How that can be toxic?
Right. How can that be toxic? Because it won't change. You are trying to change the parameters that God set in this earth. And they always talk about we breaking barriers. No, you're going to get broken by the barrier.
Yeah, you damn right.
You're going to get broken by that barrier. You try to, that's what they want to say. We challenging and breaking boundaries and we pushing the culture forward. Whose culture? Right. You understand? The Lord decided our culture. You don't get to socially engineer our culture. Right. Anytime in this Bible, you look at every nation or kingdom that rose to power, that wanted to socially engineer society, it always backfired. And you're going to see that it's going to backfire on this LGBTQI community, and it's going to be violent. Not by our hands, the Lord's hands. You're going to see it.
Yeah.
I yield.
If I could.
Please.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, along with the alphabet community and the whole feminine spirit or the masculine spirit that's being put on our sisters, like sisters going to have to recognize they can't rely on that community for protection. Me and Captain DeGarber just went into a little earlier today. We went into a gun show, and we saw several sisters in there without men, without brothers with them. They shopping for guns and looking for protection. So you're looking in the wrong spot.
That's right.
You're getting one of these warriors getting under the protection of the Most High, and it's apparent that sisters, they don't know how to reconcile the difference between leaning on a community that ain't going to support them and trying to find a righteous brother to guide them.
That's right. That's right. You're so right.
Can I say one thing, Cap?
Please,
what
come
you
on.
said. It's a sister over in Russia right now. NBA, WNBA star. She's they got her
Greener.
Yeah. The LGBTQ community can't tell us nothing. Like, where is the LGBTQI Liberation Army?
Right.
Go get that sister from Russia. You want to talk about liberating? Why won't you liberate one of quote unquote your own from Russia?
Right.
Why are you in front of the Russian embassy? Because you don't really want to fight.
Right.
You don't want to go up against real power. You just want to sit here and co-opt the black community, Hispanic and Native American community. I've been waiting on the LGBTQI community to give a statement. I haven't seen one yet in regards to that sister. It took Maxine Waters to go to call the embassy or whatever and say we want her free. You understand? I think it was Maxine Waters that made a statement about that and saying that they holding that sister hostage over there. And she a part of that community.
Right.
And we make it more, her people are making more of a fuss than that community.
Right.
A hypocrite.
Listen, is the same thing like what the Pathas are just saying. Remember, a couple of years ago, them Ball brothers get in trouble in China. And their father stepped in and made them get free. The media tried to spin it like if Trump did something and he had to come on the news and say Trump did nothing. I was the one who went and made the calls and paid the money and whatever. And, they're trying to give the thing to Trump. And they said, won't you thank Mr. Trump? And he said, thank him for what? Thank him for what? You remember that? And they was shaming him. They said he had toxic masculinity. But where's Brittany Griner's father? Where he at? Where he had to go save her, to save the day. Where he at? But you so proud. You ain't so proud now, is you, Brittany?
Right. Yeah. If I could, Captain, shout what y'all bringing out. So extra heavy, man. This is why the scriptures say the Lord gonna make a man more precious than fine gold.
Damn right.
Now you can kind of see why the Lord said that, because anytime you choose to be masculine or have any type of form of masculinity, they call it toxic. Homosexuality is being pushed on our children, sons and daughters, with such an unbelievable, firepower that it is insane, man. And damn near, we got to become we got to have a black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man. He has to have the same courage that King David had during the time when he chose to fight Goliath. Mm-hmm. Homosexuality is so throughout the earth and got so much power behind it that we smart. We holding on our masculinity in the I.S.U.P.K. We like King David in here, man. That's why the Lord put these different stories in there for you to read them and have the same courage that brother had to go against Goliath, during this day and time. And in the long run, we gonna get the victory, of course, from following and doing what the Lord said to do. We ain't standing for no homosexuality, no women with women and men with men. You gotta have some type of resistance against this ridiculous evil, man.
That's right. So
I
right
know.
about that. Salaki, go ahead.
Can I get one scripture, Captain?
Go ahead.
Can I get Jeremiah 23:14? Because this, I mean, once again, this is why war is so important, because war resets the balance.
Damn right.
When you look at, I'll never forget when that thing happened with Ukraine and Russia. The LGBTQI community in Ukraine was shocked because there were men who identified as women who had to stay back,
right,
and fight. Imagine that. Now, feel me on this. Now, you born a man,
right?
You quote unquote transition to being a woman, but on record they got you as a man. You got to stay back and fight now. Whether you do it in a dress or in some jeans, they don't care. See all that changes. They try to sit in and try to make a G.I. Jane and all that. The women that stand back over there getting raped right now.
Yeah.
Them Russian soldiers catching them women, they doing ungodly things to them women.
Mm-hmm.
Them snipers and stuff they putting up there as women. You and you gonna hear about it. We hearing about some of them stories now in the international news. You understand?
Yeah.
Like you can't change what the Lord already had ordained. You understand?
Yep.
If I can get that scripture, my brother.
Kawakan. Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 12, sir.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Jeremiah 23. 14. Let me see. Take me to 14.
14, Kawakan. Verse 14. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies.
That's what the leaders do in our community, man. They walk in lies, and that's why they subject to these type of movements. These type of movements finance their campaign. These type of movements finance the Christian church, believe it or not. The LGBTQI community, don't be surprised if some of these churches you see a rainbow flag this month. Don't be surprised. Next to the Christian cross. Don't be surprised. Because why? They're financing these organizations and these campaigns. So
they don't have it on the Catholic, one of the Catholic buildings.
See there? You see there?
Yeah, that's one of the articles there. They already have that up and flag.
Come on, man. We segueing into this thing, man.
You had the flag in a section of the Vatican called the Holy See.
The
Holy See, but not see like people, but see like vision, meaning this section is a holy vision, and they dropped the damn LGBTQ flag right there.
Man, listen, that's how you know we getting closer to the end, brothers and sisters. You understand? The thing that we've been saying under command of Gen.YAHANNA, I.S.U.P.K, now it's starting to make sense more and more. Now you starting to see the light. You understand? They do a horrible thing. Go ahead.
Oh God. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers.
And that is what they do with these organizations.
Right.
They strengthen the hand of evildoers. You know how you strengthen the hand of evildoers? You give them a support system.
Right.
You give them finance. It's sad that now evil has a support system in America. There's a hotline right now. If I say, well, brother, you was born a man, you shouldn't be like that, man. You should be, who the Lord made you. They can call a hotline right now and report me, and I got to take a class on LGBTQI sensitivity on a job. I have to take a sensitivity class now because I see what's natural, what the Lord deemed natural, they call unnatural, and they want me to unsee what I've already seen. You understand? And that right there, you on the verge of insanity, and it goes against that whole mental illness. They said we got to help our mental health. How this is part of the mental health issue. This is going to segue into that. They intersect. A lot of these people who have mental health issues struggle with their sexual identity, and they don't want to talk about that. So when they become a mass shooter, that happens to wear a dress, that's not part of the problem. but it is. You understand?
Yeah.
They strengthen the hands of evildoers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Kawakan, that none doth return from his wickedness.
Why? Because they have a support system.
That's
If
right.
you didn't like, peer pressure is good. You're supposed to have peer pressure on the right hand side.
Right.
You understand? As a nation, if the evil didn't have a support system, most brothers and sisters would turn from their wickedness.
Right.
That's right.
You understand? But because it's so widely accepted among our leaders, and the so-called leaders in this society, that they don't return from it. They get comfortable and they say, they got the nerve to say, God made me this way, which is blasphemy. That's blasphemy to say God made me this way.
Right.
Now you're going to charge God, and God ain't the author of confusion.
Right.
If I could say one thing too,
go ahead, Captain.
What you're saying is so heavy that they got a strong support system. Once again, we went to an event. It was supposed to be about learning about safe sex in the community. It was like board games and supposed to be about a community thing like that. When we get there, it's all gays. They got a little club, they got a DJ, they playing the little board games, but it's all gays. I'm like, so I get the little pamphlet. I'm like, okay. I'm hiding in the back, chilling, peeping like, so, you know, who's funding this? You know, what is this? What's going on? You know, it's a whole government operation. Government funded, paying for them, this club, paying for the DJ, paying for the games, paying for the pamphlets, the drinks, but it's all gay black men and gay women. So I slide on out of there, but I understand the government of America is funding gay organizations.
Yeah.
Or funding organizations that cater to the gay community, to black gay men and gay communities within black communities. Because that event was right in the ghetto.
And Salaki Kapash is saying that, and that was just that is proof also too that the homos and the lesbians, I mean the gays and lesbians, that they have all the AIDS. You understand? So now they gotta teach them about safe sex.
Right.
So you understand what I'm saying? So it's almost like you going there expecting for them to actually be teaching brothers, you know what I mean, male and female about safe sex. No, you went in there as gays because they get all the AIDS. You understand? And they want to turn from the ways. Well,
all the AIDS,
let's see.
All the monkeypox.
Yeah.
Right. All the monkeypox.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Hey, no, just one real quick. Like, damn it, now you see why the civil rights movement was so harmful to us to fight to where we had our children go to school with these devils, man. Because now they damn near teaching homosexuality in these schools. And our children are going into these schools every day with this type of demon being pushed on them. What in the hell you think is going to happen?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Which is why we got to do what in the I.S.U.P.K. We got schools. We got to build schools eventually for our children to attend. So we don't have to go to school with these devils. And this is, you see why the Lord wants us to remain separate from these other nations, because if we don't, now you start to take on the whole demon that these other nations have, man.
Right.
I was talking to a friend of mine in the world, and he just he couldn't seem to understand why I told him that I told my son, if you ever become gay, you can't ever come back here to this house.
Right.
Ever.
Okay.
If you go get you a white girl, you can't ever come back to this house. I told my daughter, if you ever have a baby by a white man, you and your baby can never come here, ever. That can't never happen. It's some principles that we got to stand on, you know what I'm saying? And we got to stand on them principles immediately, man.
That's right.
You understand? And so I just wanted to bring that out, man.
And Salaki, Kapash, you was done, Salaki, for cutting an onion.
Oh no, yeah, that was pretty much it. That's just the proof and the evidence that the government is paying for our destruction.
Damn right.
The oppressor is paying money, because they also had a big van with a big painted logo. It was a newer van too. I'm looking at my van. I'm like, damn, this van probably cost 10 times my van. It had the logo, everything. Ford Transit van in front of their little spot. I'm I'm like, they got the van, they got the school, the spot, the school place, they got the DJ, they got the food and drinks. I'm like, they run the whole UPK operation, but for the gays, man.
Right.
Funded by the white man and the U.S. government. Yo, Joe Biden. That's you want to know why? Call Joe.
Listen, in a minute, you say something against a gay, in a couple seconds, you get them handcuffs put on. In about 2 seconds, you open your mouth against homosexuality, nigga, you going to jail.
Yeah.
If I could, I'm going back to them DC days. I know Captain Nathak and Captain Mashak can remember this, man. I remember us being at the camp, and it was this homosexual. He was part of that community, and he had he had a photographer, he had the person holding the flag, he had a mask. Like I said,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And then we blazed on him so bad. I mean, he set up the laptop in front of the camp. He had his own podcast. I think it was some gay podcast called The Love Muscle or something.
Yeah, that's
and I can see my face. I'm speaking. He zoomed in. He said, look, it's him. He hate us. I said, what the hell? And he ended up exposing himself some kind of way out there on the street and got arrested. And I'm looking at the paper the next morning. I think it was the next 2 days in the DC paper. They called him this bastard a freedom fighter. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. They had comments on there like he's standing up for freedom. And I'm sitting here like he just exposed himself in public with his children and everything. How is he a freedom fighter? And that lets you know that this is Satan's world. Right. Like we talking about rebuilding the nucleus of the family, the nucleus of the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian family. Right.
I mean, listen, you don't want to mess with men. I had the FBI files in my pockets, and that's it. That's it. I think his name was Queen Amor.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was podcasting us while we was at camp, and I mean, and the whole article was that we was the bad guys, and he was the good person.
Yeah.
And then
he was the single brave one who would stand up against these bullies, and something he do, and the whole damn, what they call it, sausage and beans. I try not to be politically correct.
Right.
The whole sausage and beans come all the way out, as Kahan say.
And look, they had to arrest him for indecent exposure, but yet still, even on a public street in America, that they try to stop us from freedom of speech. He exposed himself and was called a freedom fighter for sexual exposure on the camps, and he was possessed by a demon. And that let me know when I saw that paper. I showed it to General Katham, and Captain Shock seeing it too. Like we was looking at the comments, and I'm like, man, they called him a freedom fighter, They even called him a revolutionary. I said, Lord have mercy. I said that let me know right then and there that boy, the UPK got the truth, man. And like they say right there that they are unto them as Sodom and Gomorrah, inhabitants of Gomorrah, brother. That's where we at right now, and we gotta hold on to our masculinity and hold on to those sisters holding on to their femininity, because it's so many things trying to tarnish that, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have that support system, and they got. Forget about it, man. Some of them even got damn near dual citizenship to some of these countries. If they get. Believe it or not, they have free reign in this society, man. And that's why we got to go harder and harder on these streets, preaching the true gospel, man, for the deliverance of this nation. I yield.
And Salakia. Also, too, black men, Hispanic men, and Native Indian men, if you're watching this radio show here, Black Watch, know this, that Black men, Hispanic men, Native Indian men, we at war. We are fully at war. You have them with this whole gay pride month trying to push it on us, trying to push it on our kids. You understand? Then the article Kazak was reading, you have the oppressor killing us. We at war. Drugs. They try to, they leave the drugs out, but the drugs still destroying the black community. It's still running havoc in the black community. You understand? We are full out at war with this oppressor. You understand? And we need to wake up. The Christian church will have your thing that you know what I mean that we everything all right, everything is just fine. We're in a better place. We are not. We're worse off than we ever had been. And
Right.
and Salakia Cap, I don't know if you were Kazakh like get read some of the what you call it again, the statistics to show black people that what Commander GEN.YAHANNA been teaching on the streets of America is the truth according to the Bible. Like we've been telling you all that blacks and Hispanics are being killed at a higher rate. We've been telling you that. But no, you want to say what? That our oppressor, with more of him is getting killed. You know what I mean? When he more than triple, almost like 10 times our what you call it again? Our population.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the article it's gonna fully, you know what I mean, it's gonna tell you.
Any way you want them to start, you just want to continue reading from wherever it is.
I think I don't know if you want to just pull up you could just pull up the graph to show them that like we have there's a graph lower down where you're literally seeing that that we are 13%. You understand? But yet and still we have a higher debt rate, which you know what? That we being oppressed. We at war.
Damn right.
I think he got
I can read the section.
Yeah.
Black Americans are killed at a much higher rate than white Americans. Although half of the people shot and killed by police are white, Black Americans are shot at a disproportionate rate.
Right. So Salaki, black people might think they kill more white people because their population is greater. And you'll see, read on.
Kawakan, they account for less than 13% of the U.S. population, but are killed by police at more than twice the rate of white Americans.
So we less than 13%, and then you're talking about, don't talk about the P-Valley. I don't know if you all hear about, you know what I mean, nobody, the so-called, the show they're trying to push on you. I trying to get rid of that on my Facebook. It's only showing up on my Facebook account, which means that they're spending a ton of money to advertise that. You understand?
Not just advertising it. You know, those Facebook ads could target. So if different brothers and sisters will see it, they're advertising it towards us, towards black and native people. That's what they're, because that P-value is supposed to be some black homo nonsense. They're advertising that, you know, in Calabasas for Justin Bieber and then now. You know what I mean? They're pushing that whole thing on us, as you say. Right.
Yeah. You understand? And now we had to deal with this.
Yep.
Full out at war in this place. We full out under oppression. You can't come and tell me that, you know what I mean, race doesn't matter. You cannot come and tell me it doesn't matter. When you look at a chart like this.
Right.
You understand? Look at the population underneath for white America. 197 million compared to 42 million. More than what? Triple?
That's almost 4 times. That's more than 4 times, in fact.
Right. You understand?
That's more than 4 times. That's, you know, we're talking about almost 5 times the population, the size of the population.
And keep in mind, they tell us already that they ain't reporting more than half.
Right.
So that 1,000 is maybe 2,000, 3,000. We up there with white America. You understand? Right. And the Hispanics, and it's showing you that the Hispanic are far away from us because the Hispanics, they are Negroes too. They're speaking Spanish.
Right.
You understand? Like we in the same boat with the Hispanic and them.
Damn right.
You can't tell me. And then look at the other. The other is your who? Is your so-called is your Asians, your East Indians. They have a big population too. Look at what's going on with them.
Yeah.
You understand?
And in any nature show, they would let you know that the population that's, you know, being killed, when you look at the numbers, if this one dipping, you want to look to see who rising, because that's the predator. In any nature show, they would tell you that. That's why they have protected species, and they tell you certain times it's hunting season and you can't hunt out a season. because this is a species on the decline, because and this is how vile the oppressor is. They would now go out and overhunt the predator, so that the species that's declining could grow.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, they give us this graph where it's obvious who the prey is and who the predator is. But I can't go to the tops. I can't go to the top supermarkets and shop. I can't send my kids to school. You stopping me from saving the kids, and you won't kill the predator.
Right.
That's a bad place. Salakia.
And Kat, what you saying so heavy? Now I'm looking for the LGBTQI in that black and Hispanic line. I don't see it.
Hold on. Let me look a little closer.
I don't see gay blacks. I see black people. I see Hispanic people. See, this is what they missed the whole ball. We try to separate ourselves from us being who we are, separate ourselves from the Lord's chosen people. And the numbers, like Captain Nathak was saying, man, like we living in the shadow of Egypt, like the Bible says. The real numbers, the Lord knows the real numbers. Like it's probably twice as much as what they're saying. But they don't talk about like the LGBTQI try to find a segue to be separate from us. But like the script, like Moses said, he said, man, choose, you know what I'm saying? Whoever on the Lord's side, come over here. He told them Levites when it was time to go to war, and they stood at that gate, he asked the question to everybody, who's on the Lord's side? Come over here with me. If you with the Lord. It was a cut and dry line right then and there. If you with the Lord, you stand with me. If you're not, then let nature take its course, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I yield.
Yep, you're so right. Like, listen, this Pride Month, we can't let them slip by. That was a good catch there, God. That was good. Like, where in them two columns on the left is the L, the G, the P, the Q, the T, the A, the binary, the non-binary, where is that? Where's all the fluidity in there?
Yes, go. There's a chart above it. Look in there too and see if you see it. No, go down. I think that the starter. Yeah. All right. The starter gave victim. Right. Scroll down.
Scroll down some more.
Yeah. Scroll
male,
down.
female. No, even here too. Male and female. Like so you telling me what? Some of these men is really women identifying as men,
right?
And some of these men is identifying as these 339 women. Now, when you go to the coroner, you get identified by what he cut open. That's what you get identified by.
That's right. That's called human. That's called human anatomy.
That's right. 101.
Right. That's called human. And even it's attack. Even this whole identity thing is attack on the medical community. Those who really practice, you know what I'm saying, dealing with science and things like that. You can't change science, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's pseudoscience for even to come with that garbage. But like this whole thing with the LGBTQI, and even they try to even push a gender war between the black male and female now. So they trying to divide us so many ways, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stand, like the clear cut line is to stand with the Lord. If you ain't down with the UPK, you in the way. I'm gonna tell you right now. You know what I'm saying? The rainbow, like I said this month, you may see a rainbow on fire. You may see the rain, the Lord may burn the rainbow. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It may happen.
It could happen.
It could happen. Who knows? It's real hot outside, It's real hot. So you may see a flag on fire. I don't know. Like,
listen, that's just before we move on. I know we have a couple of stories. I just wanted to share this quote with you all, right? There's a quote here by some one of them playwrights or something like that, some Irish playwright. And he said, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world, but the unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, something. You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people who listening, or native people who listening. Toxic masculinity is going to save your life.
That's right.
And it's going to build the kingdom ahead. You understand? It's going to build the kingdom of heaven. You see that hard head, knucklehead who for 50 years lacing up his boots and putting oil in that beard and hitting that damn corner? That's the unreasonable man that will save your goddamn life. That's where progress really comes from. That thing that's immovable and will now impose the will on everybody else. That's where progress really comes from. You busy here talking about compromise and trying to assimilate. My rib sent me some article this week. Wait, is it Walmart? Hold on, I will tell you which store it is. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut have a coloring book in drag for children as young as kindergarten. And you want to tell me something about some goddamn toxic masculinity? Let me tell you something. We're going to be staunch and immovable when it comes to the laws and the culture of this Bible. The progress, according to this devil here, progress depends on me staying immovable. It depends on it. If there's nobody like us in the world, then the world will just adapt to whatever is nature's course. The dog will hump the dog, the man will hump the dog will hump the man, the woman will rub on the woman, they'll kill the kids with sex. That's what they want you to adapt to. We are absolutely unreasonable men who will not adapt, but the future of this world is in our hands. That's right.
If I could, I just, one of the things I can't understand about sisters think they want this kind of lifestyle and they support it until they start getting their ass whooping them sports. Then they complaining. They're like, men in here, what am I supposed to do? Well, I thought you was all about this, gender fluidity and all this nonsense. Like, sisters got to get their head on straight and understand this doesn't support them. This destroys them.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I don't know if you want to be now we was on that shooting story. If you want to jump to the Kansas story. What's going on, West Coast?
Hey, Shalom, sir. Y'all about to get done. What's going on with y'all?
That looking strong. Let's get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I heard them cops in Kansas just totally obliterate a sister off the face of the earth. You know what I mean?
You talking about the pregnant sister, right?
The pregnant sister, brother. Good night. Good night.
What, sir?
Yeah, if you all want. For those of you all who want to read up on the story that Captain Kahan was just relaying, I'm gonna post the link in the chat about when they called that gay activist a damn that homosexual who came in from the camp. It was years ago. They called him an activist, and how he was like down there like a freedom fighter, even though he got arrested for his rod and all kind of shit being out. Even though it's all of that, I'm posting in the comments. Y'all could check it out. There's video of it as well, so you can see how vile he was. All right, well, you can go ahead, brother.
Come on. Witness says Kansas City police fired at woman running from officers in parking lot. A witness said a woman had her hands up moments before she was shot multiple times by Kansas City police officers Friday night in a store parking lot. Shidanja, who declined to provide her last name, said the woman was trying to run from officers when they fired at her. The woman suffered serious injuries. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said Friday that police were attempting to arrest a man and woman in connection with a suspected carjacking. A vehicle matching the description of a stolen vehicle was located at the Family Dollar at 6th and Prospect Ave. Shidanja, 29, says she went to the store with her 3 children to get gasoline and ice cream. She heard officers start yelling, "Get out of the car." The 2 people who were in the vehicle next to hers. A man exited, jumped a fence, and ran. 3 officers chased after him, she said. The woman exited the car with her hands up, Shidanja said. Officers told the woman to get on the ground, but the woman told them she was pregnant, Shidanja said, and couldn't get down on the ground. Police asked her to get down multiple times. The woman then told police there was a gun in the vehicle. The woman started backing toward a fence in the parking lot. Several officers approached her and had their weapons drawn, Shidanja said. She did not pull out a weapon on them, she said. She did not even have a stick in her hand. The woman ran 3 steps away from the officers, and police shot 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I remember it because it didn't stop. It shot 5 times, Shadandra said, during a phone interview Saturday with the Star. I remember seeing her hit the ground and I froze. Shadandra asked police several times why they shot the woman, but officers did not answer. She started recording the scene. In the video she shared with the Star, the woman is seen lying on the ground with blood on her shirt. An officer appears to put her in handcuffs. Several more officers arrive. An officer approaches Shadandra and tells her to get back. She replies saying one of her sons is inside the store. Shadandra said she and her children were traumatized from witnessing the shooting and that she wants police to receive better training. The woman was taken to a hospital with serious injuries. Highway Patrol spokesman Sergeant Andrew Bale said Friday she was in stable condition.
So she didn't die, but they definitely put some bullets in her.
Yeah. Until I care, Cap. There's a video out on YouTube with her holding something in her hand, running away from the car.
Was a gun?
Yeah, they're trying to say it was a gun. No, even if it was, that's further proof that they get to killing us no matter what. You understand?
Right.
They get to killing us. Like, you cannot tell me, you know what I mean, with or without a gun, you black, you are going to die. You have a very high chance of being killed by the cops.
So what just happened? They stopped it for a carjacking, and they stopped the wrong car?
I think they stopped the
car next to her. They say something about the car next to her. Somebody ran from the car next to her. That's what they said.
No, the boyfriend was in the car. I think some man was in the car with her. I suspect it is the boyfriend, and he got out. Once the cops stopped the car, he got out and ran and left her. And then she came out, showing you that they have a still shot of her holding what looked like a gun in her hand.
This shows further proof that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. And these things are going to keep getting worse. That's why the I.S.U.P.K and the prophets been telling our people. We've been telling and checking and correcting our people, and this is what's going to happen. Either you're going to let us check you, or the Lord is going to check you. And the Lord is not going to be protecting you, man. And we're going to be more in danger under these heathens, man. The only protection we're going to get is from the Lord. And that's why we got to keep them laws, statutes, commandments.
That's right.
We about to roll on now, Cap, and our captains. And
man.
the water for all of that, you know, Shalom, Lord Christ.
I appreciate you all for joining us for a little bit, man. Y'all go ahead and get that brother done plaster tonight, because his check-ins gonna increase by tomorrow.
Morning. Bro, you already know that. Those 5,000 check-ins.
Yeah, that's behind him now. He gonna get some 10,000 check-ins now. He gonna ask to go back to 5,000.
Yeah, right, so.
Christ, man.
Oh,
hey, Tawada, I appreciate that. Congratulations again. All right, Musa in Christ. Okay, yeah, so that's what they're saying. What happened there with her? Like, okay, I understand now. I thought it was a separate. Vehicle they was talking about.
No. I send you a link on your Facebook Messenger. I don't know if you can play it though.
Let me see. I don't know. Let me check it out and see. It depends on who.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look to see it. But still though, like once again, this is part like if she had died, they wouldn't report this.
Right.
You understand? Like they had no hesitation to pull out and shoot her. But when it came to Uvalde, you know, they was just standing out, they just brandishing their weapons,
right,
pacing back and forth, like, you know, it was a cool ass day.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't even know if this is the same girl.
If I could, sir. I done seen a lot of videos as well where you know, you'll have some Edomite holding a gun. The police is still talking them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they still talking them down. They pointing their weapon at them, and they like, put the gun down. Sir, please put the gun down. Can you please? Like, you know what I mean? So for them just to look at her and, you know, maybe she did brandish a weapon, but she's pregnant. They shot her down like that. That's wild. They don't have no negotiation tactics.
And that's what I'm saying. If it is that she says she can't go down on the ground because she's pregnant, where did she run?
That's what they said in the article, that she took 3 steps back, and they perceived that as her trying to run.
But okay, but the video, it shows somebody in flight though. The video here, that's not 3 steps back. This is somebody in stride. I think there's a picture. Let me see if I can find the picture. And I ain't even sure that's her.
No, but even if it's not her, still,
I ain't even sure that's her. No, because I don't trust these damn devils at all. Like, okay, this person here is in stride on the right side, right? And they have this little picture here, something looking like, I don't know what they're trying to say that is. Right. That's as far as I can see. We can't really see what that is.
Like our defense.
Listen, I watched damn 75% Johnny Depp trial. I'm a certified TV lawyer right now. Your Honor, this here is inadmissible. It can't be clear what she's holding in her hand. Right. It could be, you know, a baby monitor.
You're right.
But this girl here is in stride. You get the point? This one here does not look pregnant, and she had these white stripes down her pants. The girl they have on the ground don't have no stripes down her pants. Sir.
You're right.
The girl on the ground don't have no stripes down. Let me see if I find another one closer with the actual arrest picture. Like a closer, clearer shot to see if there's stripes. Oh yeah, there's some stripes down there. Hold on. I don't know. That could be the glare on a shiny pan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I give Jake the benefit of the doubt because Peyton Gendron, he ain't get shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Gendron didn't get shot. You know, as you said, all them other devils who be holding the gun. The video, we done played it before, where the old oppressor, the sheriff put his hand in the car to control the steering.
Yeah.
The oppressor wind the glass up and started to beat him on his hand with a hammer, and they didn't kill that devil.
Right.
So, you know, you want to tell me how this girl had something. You told her get down. She told you she pregnant. So you shot her?
Right.
And what about that video too with the oppressor who was naked and the cop with the AR-15 across his shoulder running from him after he was being violent to another oppressor.
Yeah,
he choked somebody. He was choking the man.
Yeah, they always get the benefit of the doubt. They get a chance to go in court and get judged. You understand? We don't. You know what I mean? That sister lucky to make it in. By the grace of the Most High, she make it. You understand?
Oh, right.
But boy, oh boy, they was fitting to put her in the dirt.
Right.
I mean, for a car.
Right, car.
Come on,
lot,
man.
Sir. And meanwhile, this devil just committed 3 murders. He just committed three known murders, and they witnessed him choking out innocent bystanders. Like, if based off of their own training, this is a absolute justifiable shooting. If they were to shoot this devil, he is literally a hazard to the public. It would be absolutely justified if they shot this devil, but they shoot the sister for a suspected carjacking.
Yeah,
who's pregnant, and it just shows that from Uvalde, Texas, didn't go into the building, and how they let Peyton Gendron live after he murdered 10 black people in Buffalo. These people are cowards, and what they're doing is not bad training. I wish that would stop being the default response from our people. I wish they need more training. They need better training. They're trained to do exactly what they do. It has nothing to do with training. It's all about
they have the mark of the beast. They work for Satan. They are the devil, and they hate God's people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Yep.
And it's clear as day.
Listen,
They
tell him get down on the ground. He running. Ain't nobody shot him.
Right.
Yes.
He's an absolute threat.
Salaki, you know, maybe she says she's gender fluid. Maybe that'll stop it for all the LGBTQI people out there. Maybe she said she was gender fluid.
I'm understood.
Huh?
Right.
Like, look at this madness here. This is a mix between Pee Wee Herman and like this right here. You see this right here. No one can argue with this. He got a utility belt full of options. You mean you can't tase him? You can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. Like they using the less lethal force they can use on this type of devil. And there's plenty of them out there like this, man.
That's Pee Wee Herman and the other one, the old school British one. Mr.
Bean.
Mr. Bean. There's an older one too. And he used to walk fast.
Is it Abbott?
Say again?
Abbott? I can't
remember the name of it. Salakia. I don't want to Rock.
Yabba Shabba the thumb to what Salakia, go ahead, y'all.
We just making the point of how they be easy on these oppressors, but they so rough with us, like how they shot that pregnant sister in Kansas. They ain't kill her. The Lord for sure was with her, but you know they'll let him run all day. Nothing to him.
Echo.
If I could, sir, can I have Kazaka Ma look up something?
Please.
Hey, Kazaka Ma, can you look up cisgender?
Yeah, Kawakan, sir.
You don't mind and just read the definition?
Kawakan.
It's just you know, the gay pride month thing. It was just crazy. I looked this up maybe a couple weeks ago or something. And I'm just like thinking about it like that is wild that they're making it like this. If you can read it for me.
Yo, Kawakan. Cisgender, denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds with their birth sex.
Mm-hmm. Is that it?
Yeah, Kawakan, sir.
So like, if you break this down, right? This is a cat that is born a male, who agrees with him being a male, and then identifies as a male. Instead of just being a man, they have to do 3 things before you become a man, and that's what they call a cisgender. I said, golly, you just can't be a man.
Right.
You just can't be a man. So they marginalizing you as a male by saying, do you agree with who you are first? Do you identify with that? All right, no sweat. This is who you are then.
You gotta prove who you are now.
God.
It ain't enough that your voice deep and you
or you gotta ride.
Yeah, that's not enough. You have to now know. Okay, so we see your voice is deep. You have the genitalia, but in your mind, do you think you're a man?
Right.
God.
It's with
it's like if I could, let me cut you off, General.
No, go ahead, Cap.
And even the word cisgender sounds feminine.
Yep.
Like they have to even effeminize the natural things, the natural order of things.
Yeah.
Which makes sense why they have to make God a woman. Like they have to change. It's an unclean spirit where they have to try to change what's natural. You know what I'm saying? It's just as holy as the Sabbath, but they have to change it. They have to change, give you, like you said, they have to marginalize you. They have to put you in a category that they can identify with. Right. Because you just being a man is too much for them to process. So let me give a new title to something that's ancient. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Warrior.
No, it's like not to cut you off, but sis is almost short for sissy.
Exactly. Oh, I was
you know what I'm saying? It's almost God.
And if I could, the reason they add in the cisgender is because they just don't want to say woman. Because if you say woman, it kills the whole idea of people identifying themselves by whatever the hell they want to identify themselves. Like a woman never had to identify herself as a woman. You could look at her and see that that's a woman. But now they don't want her to be able to identify herself as a woman. So they got to create a term that fits her in all the terms so they can equalize all the terms, which is so ridiculous. It's so insane to try and tell somebody to identify you as something you're not. It's just real. It's real from the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's real. Like in insane asylums, you know, somebody that identifies themselves as a chicken, they treat them like they respect that. Like when you in the nut house, they respect you as saying you're a chicken. And if you come into the psychologist's office and be clucking, the psychologist knows that you identify yourself as a chicken and accepts it and sits you down and talks to you about why you think you're a chicken and what are the benefits of being a chicken and you know, what makes you happy as being a chicken, and does not tell you your ass is not a chicken. You're a goddamn human being, because the shrinks think that it will damage your psyche to say something different. It's insanity that's being pushed on us in this mindset. Where the hell is the heterosexual Pride Month?
That's right.
Where is the Pride Month for black men and women that are heterosexual? Oh, this is a classic you got here. God, he's 5 years old in this picture. You can't even tell that's him. Look at him.
Oh, God.
That's a guy looking young. Who's that on the mic? Is that Kahan?
No, that's another brother.
Okay.
Kahan's in front.
I'm in the
front.
front.
Yeah, I see Kahan in the front. There's the general. And here come the damn police. God.
That's a cisgender?
That's a sick young man. They put in handcuffs and carrying away for disturbing the peace. And the amount of molestation, the amount of damage that has happened to that brother right there is on another scale. If that's a brother, that might be Edomite, I don't know. But the amount of damage has been on a scale. You said something earlier, Mashak, that was heavy. Like, if we don't stand on this truth, you can best believe there's nothing left. Understand this without a doubt, that Sodom and Gomorrah, swallowed up Lot. Lot came into Sodom and Gomorrah strong. Lot had cattle. Remember, him and Abraham had so much cattle and servants that they had to separate themselves. You know what I mean? And so when Lot went down to Sodom and Gomorrah, he was rich and powerful and strong, just like Abraham was.
Right.
And them heathens gobbled up everything he had until he was down to his two daughters in one little room, one little place. Him, his wife, and his two daughters, and them Sodomites was ravaging the city dry. And through the grace, and once again, the Most High is so merciful and graceful, he sent Abraham down there to slay them other kings, and the Sodomites took over and came again, and then he sent the angels down there to burn that place up. And that is what would happen to all of us if not for the Lord and Christ's return. If Christ didn't return, you would be in your house with your little babies, you, your sons, your daughters, with your door locked and chained, with the Sodomites running rampant all throughout the kingdom.
Yeah.
That's where it's going right now. It's going right there. That's why you saw that Sodomite on the street, jumping and yelling and screaming, declaring that open sodomy will be accepted in the city.
Yeah.
And they usually empower. Back then, when that tape was made, they didn't go for it as much as now. It wasn't overwhelming like now. Like now, they wouldn't even arrest him.
Right.
They'd be trying to shut us down.
Yeah.
Back then, they looked at him like he was disturbing the peace, and them even the Edomite cops didn't like no Sodomite running around disrupting society, making society believe that he had to accept him. But now the tables have turned. They done put the push in, you understand, for years to get it the way it is now. And it's an abomination, man, for the Most High. We need a heterosexual pride deck.
Come on.
I mean, proud to be able to be married to a woman.
Yeah.
In this place. And see, if I could, last point, these monsters know that they could use time on their side. They'll spend 20 years. Obama was in office, what, 2008 or 2012 or both?
Yeah, 8 to 12, 12 to 16.
Yeah, so from 2008 to 2022, that is 14 years, if I'm right.
Right.
That was 14 years ago they started on this agenda. That means all the babies that were born around that time are teenagers. And for the last 14 years, they've been pushing this identity in school, on brothers and sisters, in their families, on cable, forget about social media.
Right.
Where now is commonly accepted and sucking in brothers and sisters all over the place. Which is how they work. They take time and do it. They'll spend 20 years pushing an issue until everybody accepts it. They did the same with that ancestry garbage.
Right.
They spent 15 years on that. And look where we at now. And it is why nobody will be able to complain when this place burns with thermonuclear war by the hand of the Lord.
That's
right. That's right.
That's right.
And so like yes, sir. And what you saying is so heavy too, because Gen.YAHANNA had bring out an article on that they actually creating gays. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing with with the whole statistics of them of being born gay. That is a lie. They creating gays. They're creating them. They say the Generation Z, which I think from 2000 either 2003 to 2012, whichever category that is, the city Generation Z, they have the highest with accepting the LGBTQ type lifestyle.
Right.
See that?
And it's going to get even higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Go ahead, sir.
This is a lot, and I was just going to add to what you were saying. I was going to say, if I could add, and a lot of you stupid black women, you so damn stupid. You so dumb. You dumb as you could possibly be, a lot of you. Because you accept everything. You accept you as close to unholy as you could be. I hate to put it on you, but you deserve it, because I watched back then in them days. If you go back to that tape and you watch the black women in that audience, they were laughing and joking and happy that those gay men were acting the way they were. There was a time, brother, in the early 2000s, where black women were rude and nasty to us on the street.
Yeah.
But was in full glee when those homosexuals came out laughing and joking and acting and arming them to assist in trying to hurt black men. There was a lot of black Christian women back then that were, glad to have these homosexuals try to hurt black men, try to harm black men. You understand? You see them? See her? Look at her on the right with the looking halfway like a dyke, with the blue on and the hat on.
Right.
Look at her straight back with the gray sweat hood on.
Yeah.
You understand? And others that they see this man acting completely out of character, and they supposed to be ashamed when they see it. But they've loved it and cheered it and looked at it as great and wonderful. And now they're taking over their sports. Now those same homosexuals are forcing black women. They don't want you to use the term woman no more, because they want to be counted as a woman as well. These women were so stupid to realize. Look at her in the front right there with the lavender scarf on her neck.
Yeah,
she's smiling and they just think this is happy in a party, when this is an abomination. And here's what a black woman and Latino woman should understand: a male homosexual, his agenda is to remove you as a component in the structure.
That's right.
Like he's trying to replace you, and you sitting up there dumb as you could be, laughing and thinking it's cute what this man is doing, acting like a woman, when this is such a selfish demon that it's trying to replace you. It wants men, like he's doing this because he wants men to accept him as a woman so he can take a woman's role. And stupid, silly black women, especially those of you in them churches, you love a gay man. You love him on the choir. You love a gay preacher. I told you, a preacher told me directly. He said that getting a gay preacher is how they bring the women in and how they make the money. And by bringing and by you loving this, here they come. They're gonna take you out. And now you came saying like in like right now, speaking right now at that same corner, they would never arrest him.
No.
They would never arrest him. They would just stand there and actually make sure that he was protected while acting like a goddamn lunatic.
Yeah,
right.
You understand?
Salaki, sir. We have a heckler called Lesbian Proud right now in the chat. I don't know if you want to deal with her.
Yeah, it or whatever. First of all, what does it identify itself as?
Right.
Start right there.
Right. Salaki. And I say one thing, General. Like it's so heavy, like what you're saying, you're bringing out, because when you look at like Captain Gaddaha was talking about the gender, the different titles, it's almost like, I guess you say it's almost in their mind like role play.
Yeah,
like you have to give everybody these categories to make sense of your own reality, to create your own reality.
Yeah,
you're not just a man, you're not a woman, you're cis. Like you have to give everybody these titles to live out this sexual fantasy or role play in your world. You have to reassign all these genders or give them new titles. So it's like, and they didn't trick, like you said, General. They didn't trick the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian woman out of their spot.
Yeah. And it's cuckoo. It's cuckoo to tell somebody else they have to identify you a certain way. Like it's one thing that you a man dressed up like a woman, but it's a second thing for you to say now everybody must identify this man as a woman. That's you telling everybody to that they have to join the cuckoo-ness of what your nutty behind is saying and doing. How you gonna tell me you got on a pair of silver spandex with a full imprint of your rod in the spandex, but I gotta identify you as a woman?
Right.
Like that's nutty nut. It's telling me to not identify what's standing in front of me.
Right.
I mean, so it's like the world is like everybody else got to accept your psychosis. Which we read the other night in class that before the 70s, man, that was considered part of a mental illness.
Yeah.
Like what's going on with that brother right there is a mental illness.
That's right, sir.
Like he's ill, he's sick. You know what I mean? Like and the whole performance is a call for attention for a deep-seated pain that is not brought out.
Right.
And which, of course, is going to turn into lunacy, just like it did in Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah turned into lunacy because it was unchecked. It became the acceptable way of life in that city, in those cities. And, eventually Lot had to flee from it because it became so acceptable that there wasn't nothing he could say or do about it. Which is exactly what we seeing going on in this empire. Which is why nobody will be sad when this place burned to hell. This place burned to hell, nobody will be sad.
Right.
The Lord said he hates a proud look.
That's right.
And that's exactly what Pride Day is. To be proud, to be a psychotic, nut.
Yeah.
To be proud to identify yourself as something that you are not. You understand? Like that's a nut.
General, so like I do want to make one quick point now that if you notice, like you pointed out, so I remember that day, that woman was totally with him against us. And when the cops put the cuffs on him, only this one brother in the crowd was clapping. The whole sea of them was on, it's like he on his side.
Yeah, like he was an innocent person being locked up. He's the only one clapping.
He's the only one clapping, which let you know is like really like that whole spirit is against, you know, masculinity. It's against men. It's, you know, because you have the lesbians in the crowd, black women, and this brother, he feeling the whole attack.
Yeah,
he's feeling that whole. Even the article after, like what Kahan brought out, they wrote it as if he was David, and he was fighting against the Philistine. They call him a brave activist in the article.
Imagine that. Imagine that. And it's so okay. It's such a foul thing, because okay, one of the reasons a lot of black women and Latino women love when these sodomites come up against straight men, because you yourself hate black men. The anger and the hatred against black men and Latino men is boiling over.
Right.
And to have homosexuals help join you in it, you're glad to have them. You're glad to have them on your team so that you could rage on black men. Leave this world alone, and there'll be no more. A straight black man would have to hide. He'll be just like Lot.
Yeah. And Salak, yes, sir.
What they saying? What they saying now? Let me get this to chat with you.
Come on. Lesbian and proud. God never made you so. Choose to be like that. Let's start off with that. That's a choice you made. That's a choice America gave you. God never gave you that choice. And that's why I say, like, the Christian church had to take full blame for this. Because in Christianity, right, you are taught that you could accept abortion and still love Jesus. That is, you're being a nutcase. You can't love something the Lord hate and still think that the Lord love you. That is crazy. You understand? And Christianity, the reason why these mental illness is able to be proliferated in the black community. You understand? Like Christianity, you know what I mean, allows gays and lesbians to not, you know what I mean, to feel good about being a lesbian. They don't tell them, like, we go out to the street and tell them the Lord is against your lifestyle. You're going to get killed for being gay and homosexual. The Lord is going to put you to death for it. And, you know what I mean, we hate gays. No, we don't hate gays. We're showing you in the Bible that the Lord is going to put you to death for being in. We don't hate you. We're trying to help you.
I thought what I want to ask Lesbian and Proud is a simple question. Should a cancer patient get treated for the cancer, or should they just live and be happy until they drop dead? That's my question. Should a cancer patient that just finds out they have cancer, should they try to get the cancer taken care of, or should they just go out and party and have a good time and, you know, and not be sad about the fact that they got cancer and just enjoy themselves until they die? Well, that's what you're saying that homosexuals and lesbians want to do. You're saying that they want to just ignore. Yes, you should address the issue. You should not ignore it. You should address the issue, but you should be addressing the issue as though it is an illness, not as though it's normal. If you're a woman and you're not attracted to men, you're not attracted to masculinity, but yet you're attracted to femininity, you should recognize that something is wrong with you. You understand? Right. Let's say you've been attracted to a woman since birth. You should recognize that something is wrong with you. You should recognize that. Like, instead of trying to split society into two different parts, you should recognize that one of these parts is not normal, and that is the lesbian side.
Right.
You should recognize that that's not normal, and you should go about trying to figure out what should be done about it. And here's why it's so unjust and wrong and such an excuse. You understand? Because if you were locked up in prison and you was in solitary confinement or death row, you'd spend 15, 20 years without having a spouse.
Right.
People have to do that based on whatever circumstances that they are living in. If you were in Christ's kingdom, you would have to live a life of never having a man, or you would have to change into a woman that is attracted to men. You couldn't just decide you were going to live with a mental illness and just continue to function. If that's the case, don't be mad at an axe murderer or a serial killer. Don't be mad at Jeffrey Dahmer. Let him just be happy. Why are you going to make Jeffrey Dahmer have to live differently? Why don't you just let him, enjoy his life? And if he killed people every now and then, well, hell, at least he's happy. At least he's having a good time. And don't tell me that every lesbian is a lesbian from birth, because all the statistics say that 85 to 95% of all lesbians are victims of molestation.
Right. That's right.
That's what the doctors say. They say they're victims of molestation. So now should those children that are molested just turn around and say, I'm not going to address the fact that I'm no longer attracted to a man because I was raped or I was molested as a child? I'm not going to address that. All I'm going to do is now be a lesbian and party hardy. Why would you allow a child or a young adult, you understand? I understand you offended and hurt, lesbian and proud. Lesbians and gays and lesbians are always hurt by somebody saying that what they're living and doing is wrong.
Right.
They're always hurt by that. Child molesters are hurt by that. NAMBLA, North American Boy Man's Club, they are extremely offended when people tell them they're wrong for having sexual relationships with underage children. They believe the law should be changed. They believe that they should be able to have relationships with underage people. Everybody that loves whatever they love, they always believe it's something that they should be allowed to love. Jeffrey Dahmer sincerely, you understand? Listen, I agree with you, lesbian and proud. The priests in the church should all be in jail.
Right.
Listen,
That's right.
The Roman Catholic Church should be shut down worldwide.
That's right.
That's right.
Every priest in the Roman Catholic Church should be locked up in prison. It should be the Roman Catholic Church should be outlawed as a terrorist organization.
That's
you understand?
right.
For what they've done to children. They caught 300 priests here in Pennsylvania that molested 1,000 children. 1,000. And they finally locked them 300 priests up. So I totally agree with you that any child that's molested should not be just told they should go live a gay or lesbian lifestyle and they should just be happy when they're a victim of some molestation or abuse. They should get help for that. They should get help. It should be billions of dollars poured into how to reverse the effects of child molestation on children across this world. But instead, we do the opposite. We turn everything into the cuckoo house and say, go ahead and live the life that you live in as a person that's gay or lesbian. Like you may be unhappy, but so is the serial killer who can't murder. So is the person who has the kleptomaniac that can't stop robbing and stealing and is locked up in a cage. He's upset that he's locked up in a cage.
Right,
he's upset that he's locked up in a cage because he's robbing and stealing. So for him to stop being locked in the cage, what does he have to do? He has to learn how to not rob and steal.
Right.
And sometimes it takes 40 years for him to learn. Sometimes it takes so long that he got to get old enough where he can't rob nobody no damn more. You understand?
Right.
You understand? I'm not defending the priests who have abused children. You understand?
I think she's saying she respect that you are not doing
that I am not. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I understand. I wish you would, because I don't treat it. I don't think of it. We don't think of it as no different than what you're attempting to do. And here's the sad part: like all crimes, they start small. Like a lot of lesbians feel that they are not harming anybody because they're a consenting adult. But you are reinforcing, a pain and a suffering that is going on among people that should not.
Right.
You understand? There you go. You said it right after I said it. You posted right up. I know that you think that way. You know what I mean? How as bad as this? Because again, you're not normal. And I hate to tell you this, but nobody wants to tell you that. Nobody wants. It's like the story of the emperor has no clothes.
Right.
Nobody wants to tell you something is wrong with you. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to tell you that. Nobody wants to tell your partner that something is wrong with them. And both of you, by publicizing your lesbian relationship, are reinforcing that those that were molested should live their life as a victim of molestation instead of fighting against it. Like every child of molestation should be angry at the thought of becoming the sexual orientation that molestation has forced them into. Any woman that has been any woman who has been raped, okay, most of the time can never have a relationship with a man again. But they should be angry at the idea of having a lesbian relationship, because having a lesbian relationship after being raped is in essence giving the rapist the power over your whole psyche, over your whole life. Like now, like you were growing up as a normal young lady, you was raped, and now you go live the life of the rapist. Like, why send him to jail for raping if you're gonna not help the victim, who's the victim of the rape, by helping her get back to being who she was before she was raped? So he goes to jail, which he should, which is wrong, but you don't do nothing for the victim. You tell the victim, if you want to live a lesbian lifestyle, we celebrate you. We're going to give you Pride Month.
Right.
You understand? And let me tell you something that you lesbians do not come out with, which we know well by being in this truth and doing so much counseling and teaching, that gays and lesbians are living horrible lifestyle.
Right.
You're turning, gays and lesbians are turning 40 years old and are committing suicide just off of loneliness alone. Just loneliness alone is killing gays and lesbians like crazy. They're not having children. They're not having long-term relationships. The relationships are falling apart because when you hit 40 years old, you begin to start to reflect on all those childhood traumas. You starting to level out in your life now. So all those childhood traumas start to come back. The next thing you know, you can't have a functional relationship. Then the next thing you know after that, you're living a life where you go to work and come home to an empty house. You understand? To an empty house. And a lot of times they commit suicide. They commit suicide or they become activists of some kind, you understand? And they try to fill their life that way when they could have had a house full of kids. And let me tell you something else. Tons of gay and lesbian brothers and sisters who are victims of molestation, they never get over the molestation. They become 40 and 50 years old, and I've had homosexuals tell me all the time how they, live a homosexual lifestyle and they hate the fact that they're homosexual. They hate the fact, and I say, why? And they say, because that neighbor of mine, that MF, molested me when I was a kid, blah, 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 blah. They know the root many times of how they became this way. And because of no help, they go on living a life like this. And so they ain't really happy. That whole idea that they gay and they happy or they lesbian, that's a lie. That guy that you showed in them pants and that orange hair, he's not happy. He's on drugs. Okay, he's miserable. He's feeling marginalized, outcast, all of that. You understand? Let's don't act like, all we got to do is let gay and lesbian men and women be able to come out and be prideful and be accepted by society and they'll be just fine. That's a lie. It's a lie, because when you've been molested, society, listen, there's men and women who don't go into that lifestyle or who are closetly in that lifestyle, and they go on with their life like a normal human being, and they are still miserable inside because they live with the trauma that has happened to them. And somebody that really cared about Black and Latino men and women, they would fight against this for that very reason. How you gonna say you an activist and you care about people, but you mean to tell me you want me to allow men who were molested and raped, okay, in jail and as a child, you want me to tell them to go ahead and lie to themselves and say that they're happy while living a miserable, horrible, existence inside.
Right.
Understand? And just go on like that. You understand? You know how many angry dykes there is walking around out here? Angry.
Yep.
Some of them raped, some of them gang raped, and in many cases, many got away with it. You understand? Many got away with it. And it's a horrible, horrible existence, man. And listen, and let me tell you something else. You know how many, we've already surveyed this. You know how many lesbians get together and try to raise children, and them children come of age and get confused and embarrassed.
Yep.
Because they have two lesbian mothers or two homosexual fathers and get totally confused and then turn around and rebel in some way. You understand? And live a life. You know what it's like for a woman who has grown up with a full-fledged dyke in the house. Now picture this for a minute, y'all. You got a woman, she growing up with a full-fledged dyke in the house. She becomes an adult. Whose mannerisms do you think she copies after? Who was the head of the house that she's got, that she's mimicking? She's mimicking that dyke. She ain't looking at that. She ain't looking at a man and saying, well, that's a man. I'm not that. I'm my mother, a woman. She ain't seeing that. She's seeing a masculine dominating woman. And then guess what she's going to do? She's going to try to be a masculine dominator. She's going to mimic the dyke. And then when she gets with a husband, what do you think is going to happen? She's going to be with that husband. And of course, now she got a problem. It's totally wrong. It's totally wrong. And we haven't even begun to see the effects of these accepted gay and lesbian lifestyles with these children. We haven't begun to see. Wait till these children come of age. They're going to be full out lunatics, many of them. Full out lunatics. And then here's the thing. Here's what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. In Sodom and Gomorrah, they could not accept the heterosexual lifestyle, which is what the demon is. The demon of homosexuality and lesbianism, it pretends like it wants to live side by side. That's why they got LGBTQ, yada, yada, yada. Right now, that's what it is.
Right.
But after a while, let them get empowered and let them get a standing in society. And I guarantee you, you will not get a voice anymore. Yeah. Like the demon on them is going to want to eliminate heterosexual. It's going to want to eliminate straight couples. And listen, they're already getting angry if you don't treat a transsexual exactly like a regular woman.
Right.
Like they want a regular straight man to date straight women and transgender women.
Right.
They want them to all feel normal and equal, like they're all women. And they're going to be angry that you don't do that after a while. You understand? They showed that on that show, The Breakfast Club, last point. They showed it on The Breakfast Club with that old actor. I forget his name. Used to be in that old black cop show. Came out and said that he was into transgender or some other stupidity. You understand?
Malik Yoba.
Malik Yoba.
Yeah.
If you ever catch that interview with him on The Breakfast Club, he began to call. He said he made a statement. He was just talking and made a statement, and said yada yada yada. Real women. And he said real women, and the transgenders in the room with him got angry.
Right.
He said, oh, what do you mean? You got to learn the lingo and that. And they got upset because he said real women. He did not want the transgender community doesn't want you to differentiate between an actual biological woman and a man who changes himself over to being a woman or just even dresses like a woman. Yeah, there it is. They got upset that he missed the point, which is they want to be accepted as a woman. And that's insanity. And God help black women after this. God help you black women when these homosexual men who's dressed like women get completely loose in society. You see, you already got run out of the sports.
That's right.
God help you. You won't be able to go to a party no more.
Right.
So these homosexuals dressed up in dresses acting like nobody better say nothing to them, and they got to be able to hit on your man just like you hit on their man, and they counting on low, weak-minded men to take a chance and try to have a sexual relationship with them. They want to compete against regular black women. This is an abomination. Go ahead, Salaki.
Like you said, I mean, they cut in, sir, but you know it's real when they take Mother's Day from them. When they say no one Mother's Day, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just who because now they want to take away I forget the whole pregnant woman.
Yep.
Get the name they want to how they're referring to it right now, because they kind of say that men can make babies also too.
Exactly. So you got to keep it even. If I could, I don't mean to cut it all in, but Twill Williams got it right. Twill said gay men say they want a heterosexual man, and you dead right.
Right.
That's the real goal of the demon. The demon ain't just, I want to be, you know, they want to be homosexual and live their life and be respected and this, and that's not the goal. Don't be dumb.
Right.
The goal is to make us heterosexual. The goal is always the same. Destroy the seed of Abraham. It's always the same. Destroy that seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in every way you possibly can. So the goal is to make a man, a straight man, you know, date transgender. It's the goal is to get your straight man. So Twill got it right. The goal is to get your straight man involved with a transgender or homosexual. That's the point, man. So Lakia, go ahead, Doc.
If I could, sir, like you said, like in Sodom and Gomorrah, them homosexuals in Sodom and Gomorrah, they came to the house, and he trying to offer his daughters, and they could have just had sex with each other because they're gay, but they wanted to get the straight men in the house. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to get those brothers in the crib. Like gay men don't want to sleep with other gay men; they want to sleep with straight men. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean the horror of being Lot. You got two daughters. You trying to raise your two daughters in an entire gay city. And then the angels show up, and you know these are angels of the Lord and righteous men and not homosexual. You got no power. And now you got to say to these men, listen, just take my daughters. I mean, he put the daughters out there to just be raped and ravished and destroyed and even killed. He did it all just to save these men that he didn't even know but knew were men of God. Like, man, what a like, you got to really have some strength to do some shit like that. Excuse my French. You got to have some serious strength for righteousness to say, I'm going to go and let them destroy my two daughters that I raised up and wreck my whole house. Me, my wife, and my two daughters. I'm going to let the men of the city just rape and ravish and rip my daughters apart so that these brothers, you understand, could live. You understand? And they move Lot back, man, and blinded them sodomites. And it is exactly what the hell they were supposed to get, because once again, that was the demon. The demon came up in Sodom and Gomorrah and turned everybody gay. And Lot was the last of the bunch holding on that didn't fall up under. And listen, and thanks be to Lot, he had two daughters. Because had he had any sons, he'd have been done. But the Lord had mercy on him and gave him the two daughters, which nobody wanted. He put them out the house. He found them in front of the door the next morning. They ain't want nothing to do with them women. You understand? So that's what the demon really wants. This is for those that talk about homophobia and all of that. Listen, homophobia is fully justified because it is a demon. It is a spiritual attack on the core of what makes you who you are as a man. It's an attack on it. Just being hit on by a homosexual is an attack on the core of what you are. And without that core of what you are, you understand, you can't muster the strength to carry out those things you need to carry out. Lot was broken to give up his two daughters. He was broken. Lot ain't say, I'm gonna fight for these brothers to my death. That's what a man that had some strength would have did. He said, listen, I'm gonna fight the whole city, kill everybody and it be in the Lord's hand, that I make it out of here and that my daughters make it out of here and these brothers make it out of here. But Lot was so broken, he just offered their daughters up as a sacrifice to their demon. And they didn't even want that sacrifice. They wanted the angels to rape them. Like that's what that and once again, thank the Most High in Christ for this Bible, because without it, we would not know these things. We would not be able to reflect on our Black, Latino, and Native Indian history in the Bible and know that these things happen and these things don't change. Like the spirit of homosexuality 5,000 years ago is no different than the spirit of homosexuality today.
Right.
It's the same demon. Like spirits don't change. People change. Society changes. But spirits don't change. They're the same. So the same spirit that was on those men to rape those angels are the same spirit that America will turn into given enough time. You give it enough time, and they don't have enough time. But if they had enough time, you understand, they would turn this empire into the same thing.
That's right.
And we'd be in our house locked up waiting on the angels to get us the hell out of here because you couldn't come outside because every homosexual would want to have sex with you.
It's a lot.
Right.
It's a lot, General, if I could. It's so heavy what you're saying, General.
I gotta answer this one. You understand? Here's what you don't understand, lesbian and proud. You have lived with a proper guilt. It's called having a conscience. If you murder somebody and you live with that conscience, then it's right that you live and suffer with that conscience until you rectify that murder.
Yeah.
Until you rectify that murder, you should live with that guilt. That's what you don't understand. What you don't understand is that Satan is giving you a false sense of security over your sins. Like Satan is saying, you can be just like you put in your comment. You said, now we finally can be ourselves, and you still won't let us live free. First of all, I ain't never stopped you from living free.
That's right.
Gay people have been in America since America was founded. Right. You understand? Gay men were raping black men in slavery. So let's don't act like gay and lesbian all of a sudden it's finally accepted in society. You've been doing what the hell you wanted in this kingdom for 400 years. You understand? And before all this gay pride talk, we didn't stop you. There was gays all over. The church is filled with gay men. Filled. Preachers, lesbians, everything. On the choir, everything. You go to the average black Christian convention. The whole thing is a gay meeting place. You understand? Go to one of TD Jake's big retreats, and all you're gonna see is gay men all over the place. Go talk to the average young man that goes to church nowadays. Find me the young man 14 or 15 that goes to church every day right now. Almost all of them are victims of child molestation. Almost all of, you know how many young 12 and 13-year-old boys are having full out sexual relationships with men in the church? Eddie Long had 5. I can go around the corner, you understand, and find 3 or 4. Go out on a Sunday afternoon and go to the nearest park and just pull up and watch those shiny cars from Sunday church morning. You understand that when they take off their blazer and their tie, and watch them sitting in the car with these young boys that you think is just their grandson or just their son that they mentor, and this is their lovers sitting in these cars. So that's not true. You've been living this life for the longest.
Right.
You understand? And again, what you don't understand is that the demon doesn't want you to just live free. The demon wants you to destroy heterosexual men.
Right.
That's what the demon wants. It wants you to destroy straight black women. It wants you to force. You know how many right now in America, do you know how many young girls? This is why I tell brothers this all the time. If your young daughter brings a girlfriend home that's like her home friend and they doing homework, you make sure that door is kept open in that bedroom.
That's right.
You make sure you sticking your head in that bedroom. Because you got a ton, because we slipped up in the game. Our young daughter started turning 12 and 13, and she started growing breasts, you understand, and started becoming shapely. And we said, oh, ain't no boys coming up in here. We went and got the shotgun like the traditional father. But what we didn't know is that her friend that's coming home to do homework, Sally or whatever her name is, that's coming home to do homework with her, when you turn your back and throw the TV on and watch the game thinking, oh, she all right, they upstairs doing homework with the little girl down the block. That little girl down the block is trying to molest your daughter.
That's right.
And turning your daughter into a gay girl. You understand? And so a ton of that is going on now. So you know how much of that is going on all over the place? You understand? There's more gay and lesbian relationships being proliferated in America than straight and heterosexual ones. It's damn near you got to fight the course of the river to have a straight and heterosexual relationship. That's because the empire has decided they want everybody gay and lesbian. So it ain't about you. You've been living free. Ain't nobody stopped y'all from living free. Not that you should, because Christ's going to deal with you eventually. But the empire sure hasn't stopped you. You know how long gay laws have been in place? You know how long homosexual relationships have been going on in prison? You know how long this thing been going on for years. Nobody stopped it. But now, once again, you're forcing society to accept gay and lesbian relationships as you describe it. And it's so sad that you pretend like gays and lesbians are oppressed in America. Ain't nobody oppressing you.
Right. That's
you understand? Ain't nobody stopping you. You know how many black girls and boys is having bad relationships and they falling apart? You know how many children being molested by how many girls being molested by men? There's way more than homosexual men. Okay, so stop acting like, oh, you know, y'all so oppressed and you can't express yourselves and you can't now finally you can be free and live. Shut the hell up with that crap.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. You understand? And the Christian church has been made it a haven for you. That's why the down low came out of church. Because they made it a haven for you to be gay and lesbian. So, Lockie, go ahead. I think I cut off.
Well, I just go ahead, Cap Goodall.
No, sir. I didn't say nothing. Go ahead, Cap.
I just want to say, General, what you're saying is so right, and I hope a lot of brothers and sisters listen to that. They're struggling with that lifestyle. I don't even want to call it a lifestyle because in the Bible there is no alternative to life. The only alternative to life is death.
That's
the Lord said, I set before you life and death. And then he interjected and said, choose life. Because he know that we are too stupid to know what life is. Yeah. So he have to give you the cheat code to say, this is death, this is life, choose this. And every demon in that community has an alphabet. Every demon in that community has an alphabet. You know, it's so bad now you run out of alphabets because you are still in the closet.
Yeah, that's right.
Like what you just said to the general about the guilt, you can't live free with yourself because you are still in the closet. You're still struggling with your identity and your sexuality, which is why you need other people to agree with you. Every demon needs someone to agree with it.
Exactly.
That's so heavy out.
Like even the scripture when the Christ came to deliver the brother, the man that had all the demons in him that was ripping the chains off of him, he asked that demon, "What is your name?" And the demon said, "Legion, for we are many." And in that community, you don't even identify as being a male or a female. Now it's gender fluid. And then now you are going to phrases saying I'm they or I'm them. Yeah. You're using plural words, which is how you know what the Bible said is real when he said, Legion, we are many. It's a conglomerate of demons inside of you on the dark side of the rainbow. And you have nerve to question Commanding General Yahanna, the head of the Israelite school of UPK, who's a prophet of the Lord, who has the Holy Spirit and telling you you are living an unclean lifestyle.
Right.
Lesbian and pride. The Bible says pride go before a fall. Salaki, General.
Salaki, Kahan, but because what you said, Kahan, was so, I mean, it was nuclear. Because the truth of the matter is what you're saying is so right in this. if gay men, if gays and lesbians want to just live free, then ain't nobody stopping them. You got all kind of gay communities. What's that? The Village in New York City, the Village, the Greenwich Village. The whole village is a whole village of homosexuals. They have, you understand? You got that another one here in Philly. You got them all over the country. San Francisco, all of the major cities have a section where all the gay and lesbians is at already. They got gay clubs, lesbian clubs. They all down in them zones. Ain't nobody even thinking about them. But that's not enough. Just like you said, Kahan, that was so heavy. That's not enough. They not comfortable with what the life they living. You understand? So they got to turn around now and make the rest of society has to love them. They don't want to be a minority in their own world. All society got to love them and accept them, even though they in total opposite of the rest of society. And I ain't seen no gay group trying to protect and watch over heterosexuals. I don't see no gay group saying nothing about that. What you said, Kahan, is so dead right. Salagi, y'all. Go ahead.
No, Colonel General. Like I just had to say that because, like, for them to say to give this false representation that they oppress, the LGBTQI plus community uses our story for their plight. They continue to try to use Black and Hispanic, and even with the Captain Al-Thak was talking about Generation Z, and with the Hispanic brothers, the Latinx community, they want to use our story, the Zoot Suit riots, what happened in California with the Latino brothers. They have to use our story to say, well, see, we all in the same pot, and we're gonna be the voice for this, and let us live free. Like a lot of it, they don't want to address all the domestic violence that goes on in the LGBTQI community, all of the drug addiction, and I just got to be honest with a lot of you, the lesbian in pride. You're not really a lesbian. I'm gonna just tell you right now. You're just missing the rod of correction. You are in the closet, and you know you in the closet because a lot of these lesbians relationships break up because another woman wanted the real thing. They go to a heterosexual man. You understand? Duracell would like to keep you single because they right. But in the UPK, the General Commander General Yahanna is here to deliver you. You know what I'm saying? With the Holy Spirit to wake you up out of this darkness that you in. You stop lying. The worst person you can lie to is yourself. That's the worst person you can lie to. And the LGBTQI community has lied. You need us to agree with it.
Yeah,
what
right.
the Bible say? That demon needs agreements. Can two walk together unless they agree? You need someone to agree with you. You ain't a confident. If you was confident in your sexuality, why you need everyone else to identify to agree with how you view yourself?
Like why you here
arguing?
Exactly. Like why you here arguing if you so confident about who you are? Like why you here for the last 45, 35 minutes? You went and changed your picture. Like you trying to convince me to what? To do what? I don't you're really trying to convince yourself. Like you're really arguing amongst yourself in your head. You had to show that other abused person, that survivor of abuse, who you're claiming as your wife. You had to defend the relationship and show them how much of a zealot lesbian you are. So you now have to come up now and say, well, I'm going to defend you in front of these men. We ain't stopping you from kissing her in the mouth. We ain't stopping you from doing anything that you want to do with her. But again, as Captain Kahan saying, as the General saying, you so want to make us, genuflect to your desires. And for
so Love, you go ahead up.
No, so I would just say, making the point here, she's saying our views are outdated. She don't understand that we are ahead of our time. Right. That's what it is. Right. We are absolutely ahead of our time. Our views is not outdated at all. This is the future kingdom you're talking about here.
Listen, and let us live free. Since why we can't hold on our views.
Yeah, that's right.
Like we gotta change our views. You don't want to. You want to be free and be a lesbian. Why we got to give up our outdated views? We want to give our outdated view. Right. And furthermore, listen, we're gonna stop with this oppression of the LGBT community. All of Hollywood is gay. Come on, man.
That's right.
That's right.
All of Hollywood is gay. You turn into rappers gay. Everybody is gay. Okay, damn near every actor, every actress in Hollywood, from Rock Hudson to whoever's the latest of today, they all gay. Okay, the producers is gay. All of the ones that had the casting couch, they all gay.
Right.
So come on, man. Let's stop acting like y'all some oppressed people living in ghetto. And even that is a shame that you acting like y'all oppressed and in the ghetto and in poverty. You still in our struggle for sexual orientation.
Right.
You still in our struggle for something you doing behind closed doors in your own goddamn house. Right. Now we got to be, part of the struggle so that you can now lay down with somebody you've been laying down with and ain't nobody stopped you. You know what I mean? Like, what rights do you need? Now you could live free, meaning now everybody can be forced to accept that you're a lesbian because you already been free. Ain't nobody running in your house snatching you up off of your woman saying, y'all having lesbian sex, y'all going to jail. That don't go on in America. Mm-hmm. So what are you even talking about?
That's right.
You're forcing everybody else to accept the lifestyle that those that believe in God know is wrong. And the Bible has proved itself right. So why should we listen to you?
That's right.
Salakia.
If I could, Salakia, go ahead, get out.
No, I just want to say a quick point, sir. It was just what you said earlier. You're talking to a whole bunch of unreasonable men. You know what I'm saying? This is very unreasonable brothers who are not going to understand what you're talking about or try to figure out and come to a terms that, we can live together.
Yeah. Exactly. Just a good piggyback on that there. Like, we didn't go to her. We didn't call her. She came right here, which lets you know these unreasonable men is shaping the future that she's trying to stop.
That's right.
Like, even this comment here, if I could, because all we LGBTQIA community want us to be accepted. I wish that was our problem. I wish Peyton Gendron just went up in there and judged everybody in tops.
Right.
That's
and
right.
listen, and like if I could, Mashak.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
So Salakia, Mashak. I ain't mean to cut you out.
No, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
But this post that Lesbian and Proud just posted just infuriated me. You mean to tell me you want to be accepted by everyone and live live a life judgment free for being yourselves? Well, then what you're asking for, niggas been asking for 400 goddamn years.
Damn right,
so get in line. We'll see you in about 300 years, okay?
Right.
You hang in there, old lesbian. We'll see you in about 300 years.
Yeah.
You understand?
Right,
and to show you how it's so evil and wrong because they passing laws to protect these homosexuals and lesbians. We've been at it 400 years. Oh, so you want to not be judged. You want to be judged by the content of your what? The content of your character.
Right.
That's what you want. Well, we've been trying to get that for 400 years, and you're still murdering us in the supermarket by the tens.
Yep.
You're still doing it. Okay? So give me a damn break. You such an expert at being victims, man.
Right.
You experts at playing the victim card. When you having the time of your damn life and ain't nobody stopping you from doing it, even though they should. Even though it's a horrible sin against the Lord and it destroys the entire community. But you having the time of your life. Go ahead, y'all. Salah.
If I could, sir, the gay struggle always been bigger than the black struggle. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She winning. What you complaining for?
Exactly.
You got, like you said earlier, you got a community. They got gay churches in their community, gay restaurants, gay bars. I mean, I don't think.
Listen, it was gay men that put together the Civil Rights March.
Exactly.
The March on Washington was organized by gay labor workers.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
E. Philip Randolph and
those was gay men.
Yep.
Salakia too. And it's so heavy. All they doing is copying and pasting. They taking on. They try to change the narrative. Our struggle. They just take us out and put LGBTQI in there, and then take our struggle and try to use it. You know what I'm saying, to shape their struggle. But Yes, sir.
So lock you. Go ahead, God. Finish it.
No, I would just say it's no authenticity in this statement. It's no anybody can see. Now you come on the Israelite School UPK Blackwatch platform to say you just want to be accepted by everyone and live our life judgment free. And you said it eloquently, General. That's what we've been trying to do for over 400 years.
Right.
We've been doing. And where were you? Where were you when we were struggling? Where were you?
Right.
Where were you? Like you? They're selective when they pick the arguments that they want. With all the things that's going on in Buffalo, all the things that happened in Uvalde, Texas, they pick. Now they want to pop out during the Gay Pride month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a joke, man. Like you can stop trying to shake the narrative of that you are oppressed. You're really not oppressed, man.
Right.
Really
Call us when they shoot up the first gay supermarket.
That's
Call
right.
us.
That's it.
Call us when they shoot up the first gay church like they did Dylan Ruth.
Yeah.
Right.
Call us then. You understand? Call us when they march through the streets with tiki torches saying you will never replace us, blood and land. Call us then. Come running to us then and say, hey, all the gay men are under attack. They running with tiki torches. Call us when that happened.
Right.
Call us when heterosexual cops start shooting gay men in their car.
Right.
You understand? And they start shooting unarmed gay men. Don't you dare try to act like your gay struggle is the same as ours. You understand? Like you suffering what we suffering, what we've been suffering for 400 years. That's a damn joke.
This is ridiculous.
You understand? That's a joke.
Right.
And furthermore, hold up, man. And furthermore, this is okay, as evil as this empire can be. This is a Christian empire. You can't go to a Muslim country and say, you want gay pride. You understand? They hang you from the damn bulldozers up there in them countries, man. You can't do that. So how you gonna come to a Christian country, as evil as the empire is, and decide that they can't hold on to their Christian values? You better find an island somewhere, declare it independent, and start and make it the empire of gayness. Have all gay rules, and then nobody can tell you nothing.
Right.
It's a damn joke, man.
Right.
It's a joke. It's a manufactured struggle to push a lifestyle on the black community, man.
Right.
To totally victimize us and make your dumb ass believe that you are so under, trouble. You in such danger. We can't even drive down the street without being shot to death. What are you talking about?
It's a lot of General.
And listen, we can't pretend we straight. You can at least pretend. You can change your clothes and pretend you straight. We can't pretend we ain't black. We can't change our clothes. You can change your clothes and blend in. You do it all the time. We can't change our clothes and blend in. Go ahead, Salah.
No, I was just
go ahead. Salah, I was just gonna piggyback a point, but go ahead.
No, I just want to say, like the scriptures say, man, they blood gonna be up on them.
Yeah.
Like in Leviticus, like the people this is the biggest thing the LGBTQI community don't say, that the people that's suppressing the LGBTQI movement are the LGBTQI movement. When you see about violence going on in that community, it's always one of your own. It's always somebody that shot that club up. He was gay.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was a gay man that shot that club up.
Right.
What? Like the one that attacked Dave Chappelle, he was gay.
Right.
We're going to address the dark side of the rainbow.
The Uvalde shooter.
Right. The Uvalde shooter, he had a dress on. He was wearing women's clothes. You're not going to get away from this. You're not going to be able to get away from the violence that goes on. Well, how can I say it? Not consented violence, but the violence that goes on in the LGBTQI community. You're not going to escape from that because it's a very, very violent community. So
yeah. If I could too, even the statement here, the black community is not the only victims in the world, but you like to think you are IC. Like the black community has been victimized by everybody. And as a people, we have spoken up for everybody. We're the first to say pray for Palestine. We're the first to say pray for Ukraine. We're the first to say, stop encroaching on the Palestinian lands or stop the fighting over there in the Middle East. We're the first to accept and cry for everybody. But I have a question for Lesbian and Proud. Like, we have Black History Month, where we always talk about the things Black people contributed to society that was selfless, that we don't profit from. That traffic light, the Black community doesn't get residuals from the traffic light. We don't get residuals from the refrigeration system and all these systems we came up with, even the peanut butter man, whatever things we invent. The Black community gets zero residuals from it. The real McCoy with the engine, we don't get no residuals for that, but we've contributed with blood, sweat, and tears and actual lives to a whole nation of people, to the whole world that was totally selfless. I want to ask this Lesbian and Proud, what are you so proud of? What did the LGBTQ do? What did your community do that affects another group of people, another race that has absolutely no benefit to you? Absolutely none. Right. Just give me 5 things you have done. Even you need our civil rights to make the world feel sorry for you. You have to compare yourself what we went through. So now, please, before you take all of our damn benefits, before you take all the like what the general was telling me earlier with how the government want to give you a welfare, you all got discrimination laws, you all got all sorts of protection, all kind of legislation to protect you all. Right. You know what I mean? Forget the don't ask, don't tell. Go straight in the military. Do what the hell you want. Mm-hmm. Before you take all of the benefit from us, please tell me 5 things that the Black community, that the LGBTQIA community has done as a community that sacrificed your life, your bodies, generations. I'm talking about grandparents and great-grandparents. I want to know what y'all did that affected another group of people and they have benefited from what you did. Because you look at the Black and Hispanic community, there would be no military without us. There would be no sports in arena without us. There would be no NASA without Black computers, which was Black women, that we don't benefit from. Right. Even your movement,
that's right,
the rights movement, to ride the back on. So tell me what you did that you are so proud of before you ask me to recognize you as who you are. Because as far as you ain't put in half the work yet to be recognized.
Salaki, but I'm offended at Lesbian and Proud's latest comment. Again, how in the hell you gonna say the Black community is not the only victim in the world, but you like to think you are? Well, if we ain't the worst victim in the world, who is? And second of all, what other nation doesn't stand up for itself? Right. We are the Black community. We ain't supposed to speak up about us and our community. We got to speak up for your community, for other nations' community. We got to fight for your sexual orientation. We got to fight so you, in a country that's not illegal for you to have sex with whoever you want to have sex with, we still got to fight for you, right. Even though it's already legal. We got to fight for you to have sex with who you want to have sex, as though you having a civil rights movement. When it's already legal, there ain't no need for no civil rights bill. It don't need no bill for gays and lesbians to have relationships. It's already legal.
Right.
So what the hell? Why we can't fight for us? Every nation fights for themselves. Every nation fights for themselves. Why the hell we can't fight for ourselves? We got to fight for you. Then here's the real problem. The problem is it's been so easy to get us to fight for everybody, like Mashak just brought out. It's been so damn easy. Whatever the movement and struggle is, Blacks and lesbians got to get on board and got to join in and fight that damn struggle. When can we just fight our own damn struggle? Because certainly other nations have not fought for us, not one. And the Lord turned around and said they would not fight for us. The Lord said, no man shall buy you. Nobody has come to get us back. You understand? And it's so offensive. We were brought to this country and stripped of our identity, man. We don't even know who we are. And oppressed for 400 years, put in slavery, lynched, redlined, all type of horrible things. Drugs poured into our neighborhoods, man. Killer cops killing us. I mean, just hell. And the nerve, the proud, selfish nerve of the gay and lesbian community to act like we should get on board with their struggle as though it's bad as ours. Go have sex with whoever the hell you want to have sex with and let God punish you.
That's
right. But leave us to help our own people who have a real damn struggle, man.
That's a lot, General. If I could, and listen, now I want all the viewers under the sound of Commander Gen.YAHANNA's voice tonight to view this comment that you see on the screen, where he said, where Lesbian and Proud said the black community. Pay attention. He said the black. Now, Lesbian and Proud said that statement like there aren't any black gays and black transgenders.
Mm-hmm.
See, Captain Mashak touched on it earlier. If it wasn't for the, and you think we don't know that there's a rift in the LGBTQI community among racial and ethnic lines? They're black and gay lesbians who say they don't get the proper representation, even under the rainbow. And then now you have the nerve to say the black community, well, aren't there any gay blacks or gay trans? I thought we all one rainbow. You just isolated our community based on oppression.
That's right.
Not even looking at the spectrum of a rainbow that goes into your community. Because if it was just the black community, you would say, aren't the LGBTQI, aren't we all the same?
Right.
You just put your foot in your mouth, and it validates what Commander Gen.YAHANNA is saying. You want to take our story and copy and paste so you can have authenticity. And that is what you just told on yourself. The black community is not the only victims. Well, aren't there any gay blacks? Aren't there some gay trans in your community, in the LGBTQI? There's a rift going on right now because there's gay black people, and we told them, you're not going to get represented. You can try to fight for their struggle like the Bible says. We laid our body down as the ground that they may go over. Every progression or every movement, progressive movement in America was off the backs of blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Yep. The labor movement, the gay movement, even with the saving the earth, the Native American Indians, they the one that educated them on that. So every community, every progression or progressional movement has been off the backs of us. Yet you want to sit here and say we're not the only victims.
Right.
That's shameful. And you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be lesbian and proud. This is disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself, but you just told on yourself. No matter what your screensaver is or your avatar, you just told on what your real intentions were and who you really fight for. What did Christ say? No man can serve two masters. You have to hate one and love the other. You can't play both sides of the fence.
Right.
We're going to stand over here with Commander Gen.YAHANNA and the Israelite School of UPK. That's what we're going to do.
Listen, I'm still waiting on my answers. I want to know what the LGBTQ community did for anybody else but themselves.
Right.
That's what I want to know. Who did you show up for and sacrifice your life and give up your generations and give your children? Who did you do that to? Who did you do that for? Who did you go and stand and get your head bust open and go and do sit-ins for? Who did you do that to? Who did you help that benefited somebody, not yourself? So far, all I see is you stealing all the rights from people who done, slaved and worked hard and gave up things that are, invaluable. You're just a bunch of thieves. You're a group of thieves who want everybody to support you. But will show me what you've done that have affected some other group but yourselves. Right. I didn't see you up there in Buffalo. Right. I didn't see you down there in Uvalde, Texas. You know what I mean? Peyton Gendron didn't slack you, sir.
No, go ahead, Mashak. Finish it. So
no, I was going to say Peyton Gendron, he ain't paint them bullets rainbow.
Yeah.
He said, nigga, here's your 40 acres on a mule.
Yeah.
Your reparation.
And if I could, they struggle for stray dogs is bigger than they struggle for us.
Right.
Right, sir.
You understand? Like the struggle to save the stray dogs is bigger than us. You understand? The struggle. Go see how much. Go look at Greenpeace's annual budget for saving the whales. That damn Greenpeace gets millions to go out there on them scooters in that ocean and fight them people from killing them whales and killing them dolphins. You know what I mean? They struggle is bigger than the struggle for us. So it's a damn joke. And for those of you that's listening to this show, this is extremely important to the Black and Latino community, because what you got to understand is that we are being attacked on many, many levels. And this entire Barack Obama gay and lesbian push is a major attack against us. It's a major attack against the Black and Latino community. You just cannot see it yet. That's one of the major attacks. That whole ancestry is another major attack. There are a lot of things making sure that we stay ignorant, destroyed slaves in this kingdom. And this movement that they're pushing all the time is a major attack against us. And it's important that we address this when the time comes. And since we in this Pride Month thing, and certain of these people are making mention of it, now's the time to have that discussion and to push it, because here's what you're not gonna see. You're not gonna see anybody standing up against it like we are. You're gonna see every Black podcast and every Black talk show host tell you that they accept their lifestyle. They're gonna tell you that everybody should live the life they want to live. None of them will see how much of a detriment it is on the Black and Latino community. You understand? But we are prophets of the Lord. We give you the prophecy that come from the Father, which is why we know where the danger is when you don't. You didn't know that the Christian church was dangerous.
Right.
People loved that church. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, people loved that Black church and barely spoke up against it while they were raping and molesting and having all kinds of orgies and robbing your grandmother's blind. It wasn't until the Israelite school of UPK stepped into the arena and brought it to their mouth, the evil that they was doing. Right. And so this, make no mistake, you know, this is not fun and games when it comes to this. This is a major, major part. Paul had to fight this in Rome. Paul had to come up against this in Rome because Rome was so decadent in the past with homosexuality and lesbianism, and it was accepted. And it was accepted. So, of course, he had to address it for the brothers and sisters that were living in Rome.
Right.
You understand? He had to address it and explain to them what the Lord's position was and how dangerous it was and the end result, which is why he said the Lord gave them up to these affections. And this is important that we bring this out. And it is, and here we are again, the Roman Empire rebuilt, and we got to do it again, which is why this is, you know, this ain't a topic we talk about all that often, but this is one time when it needed to be addressed, and it was addressed at its most appropriate time. And to be straight up, I'm glad Lesbian and Proud got in here and was willing to give us their views on it, because it helped give clarity to everybody on how sick and psychosomatic lesbians and gays are.
Yep.
I appreciated that. You know what I mean?
General, I got some of the figures you was just talking about with Greenpeace.
Please.
Right? And now this is from 2012, so you know by now it's way bigger. It said in 2012, Greenpeace is now the largest environmental organization in the world.
Go ahead.
With annual revenues of $368 million.
Blood clot. You mean to tell me them will give a whale hunter $300 million?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They say German donors gave 70 million. US donors gave 40 million. Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Nordic countries as a whole round out the top 5 largest sources of donations.
Now the Black community do not raise that much money for their struggle. That don't get raised for the Black community for their struggle. You understand? That don't happen in the Black community, but it's happening for Greenpeace. The whales get more money than you are for the struggle, and you want us to join your struggle?
Right.
It's shameful.
Right.
It's shameful. We're on our own. You damn right we only look at our struggle for Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, because ain't nobody else looking at our struggle.
That's right.
You looking at the whale struggle, you helping them. You funding the ASPCA. I wonder how much money they getting every year to save every stray cat and stray dog. I bet you they getting millions and millions of dollars, offices all over the place. Who got offices to help the families of black people whose family members are getting murdered by the cops?
Right.
Who got offices to help the psychological pain of black families whose sons and daughters were tricked into becoming part of the drug trade?
Right.
You understand? Who got funding for psychological training for all the black and Latino families that living in utter poverty, struggling and in a perpetual poverty and in a perpetual state of subjection and second-class citizenship?
Right.
Who's gonna help them with that? You helping the Ukrainians with all that they done lost in their country, with their cities being destroyed and bombed and tore down. What about the black and Latino community? You know what I mean? Who's being priced out of the damn market right now?
Right.
Being priced, who's going to end up? What you going to do with the black and Latino families that's out there in California lining up down? I mean, miles and miles of RVs lined up with people starving and struggling, man. Who's helping? Where's the $300 million for them? But the goddamn whale's gonna get $300 million. Damn that, brother.
Right.
Damn that. You understand? Where's that struggle at? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't see it. You know what I mean?
If I could too, General. And they so quick to call the ISUPK identity extremists. What you just witnessed tonight, you witnessed someone who's an identity extremist, because they're extreme when it comes to their identity. They're so extreme that you have to agree, no matter how crazy it is, you have to agree with their identity. But they want to label the I.S.U.P.K. identity extreme.
Right. You can't even call yourself a Jew. You can't even say blacks and Latinos are descendants of the Jews, but they can force you to gender identify them with whatever they want to be gender identified with.
Come on, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to make that point, General, for those who try to give us those labels, but they never give that alphabet community with all those letters and all those plus and minus symbols. They never give them that title. Well, maybe your identity is a little bit extreme.
Exactly.
But we say we God's chosen people. Now you got a problem with us identifying as that.
Exactly.
Which is why, yes, sir.
Sorry, Khan. Last point, Salakia.
Yes,
and if you're for the LGBTQ community, you're a racist organization because you don't have heterosexuals in it.
Right.
If you're in the LGBT community, what about the straight? Is there an S in that LGBT thing? There ain't no S in there. You are a racist organization.
Yeah.
Right. You're an organization that discriminates against heterosexual.
Right.
I want an S in there. LGBTQS.
Right.
Start with the S, hell, because S is the original.
Right. That's true.
Cut on what comes, sir.
I need to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think it was either Captain Shock or Captain Athak was saying earlier. Like as far as like us, they want to allow us to speak about. They want to allow us to come on their platform and to speak about, and not only to speak about our issues, but to dictate or speak about how to fix their issues. They want to allow that. Like if you go to an LGBTQI platform and say, well, no, let me show you how to fix domestic violence here. No, we don't want your view on how to fix domestic violence. Because first and foremost, are you straight? Okay, you straight, you're not invited.
Yeah.
They want to allow that. Like they protect, and they are a protected class, like you said earlier, General. The LGBTQI community is more of a protected class than heterosexual Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian men and women. They're more. They get more funding. They're propped up by the state. They're propped up by the religion, and the religion of the state, I might add. They're propped up by it, and they don't get any pushback. And like you said, we're in a extension of the Greco-Roman Empire, and the same things that happening now, you can see it on the mosaics of the Roman Empire in Rome.
That's
the pieces of the acts and the sexual deviancy that happened then, and it's the same thing now. Our views are not outdated. Like Captain Mashak said, we are ahead of our time. The Bible is past, present, and future. Yeah, you gonna have to catch up with the time. We're going back to the future.
Yep.
I yield.
They better get some solar panels for them damn toys, because them batteries ain't gonna last forever.
Yeah.
They better go talk to Elon Musk and get one of them Tesla. And them Tesla charging ports and hook it up to that goddamn bed. Because this thing ain't gonna last forever. Get going. And we gonna march on. I'm still waiting on my answers, lesbian and pro, because the LGBT community has not contributed anything significant to the human race, but problems and shortage of bathroom spaces.
Go ahead, Salaki Cap.
That's it, sir.
I was just gonna add, could we add a scripture, Hebrews 13:4? Q pulled this one up. Big shout out to General Q. Read that out.
Come. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
The Lord honors a marriage, man.
That's right.
He said, and the bed is undefiled. The Lord honors a marriage. And that bed is undefiled. What's going on in them other beds, man, that is defiled.
Yeah. Right.
It is a sin and it's evil.
Yep.
And it should, and trying to accept somebody and trying to accept the sins of somebody is not right. When you know the Lord knows better. We got 5,000 years of history that says that homosexuality and lesbianism destroys society.
That's right.
We got 5,000 years of history that proves that. Go ahead.
Come. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
Come. So, you know what I mean? All right, y'all done ran this. I see y'all stayed on there long enough to run these numbers all the way up, huh? You got everybody out here. Y'all want to keep going? I mean, you're an hour and 15 minutes over the time. What you want to do, Michelle?
Listen, listen. If the lesbian come back, I ain't going nowhere. Salaki. If she come back, I ain't going nowhere. I want my answers. I want to know what you have done significant in history that affected anybody else.
It's a lot, Cap. Look, we're gonna be waiting all month because look, we can do this all month. Look, it's 5 months. Guess what? They picked the right place to come now. They want to bring all these talking points. They picked the right place to come on Black Watch because we can do this all month. You can line them up. We can do this all month.
They're not even strong enough to live with themselves, much less battle with us. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see next week when we come on here and talk about the rise in monkeypox that's about to happen over these pride you know, things they about to have this month. They about to have the monkeypox go crazy.
That makeup ain't gonna cut. Maybelline ain't gonna cover that up.
No,
that Maybelline can't make you a woman. All that they can put all the makeup. When you start seeing them, but say, "Nah, this is the new wave." No, it ain't. It ain't the new wave.
And can I add something to what Kahan just said? That's a good point you brought up, Captain Gadalha. That was a very, very good point because what we saw when HIV came on the scene, we saw it wipe out the gay and lesbian community.
Mm-hmm.
They just came out with it and said that the monkeypox started from 2 gay rage concerts. One in England and one in another European country.
It was Canada, sir. It was one in Canada too.
Canada. So yeah. So what the scientists have found out is that because the gay and lesbian lifestyle is such a free, non-family orientated lifestyle with multiple partners, sexually transmitted and close quarters transmitted diseases spread at a much higher rate between those groups, which shows you that, you know, having a wife, a husband and a wife and a responsible family is what cuts down on so much lewd and illicit sex. And so if the monkeypox gets running, the lesbian and gay community had better watch out because anybody catching something called monkeypox, it can't be good.
Right.
It cannot be good. It's a lot.
Listen, she needs to go argue with the monkeypox. She arguing with us. She needs to go argue with that damn monkeypox. Make that monkeypox accept. The monkeypox don't accept your lifestyle. You here arguing with us.
Yep.
You need to go argue with the monkeypox because the monkeypox don't accept you.
So
that's
it. Like really, this is just about uncontrolled and flamboyant sex.
That's it.
Nothing else. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on. And then also too, you know, if you look at all them HIV immuno medication that they be advertising on the television, it's always homosexual men advertising it. They'll start off with the name of the medication, but halfway through they start to show you these men, and by the end of it, they're holding hands with their husband, they're kissing their husband, they're walking on the beach with their husband. Even the medication they advertising are geared towards the homosexual community. So now you can't tell me the propaganda is that good. They blame you for the virus and they're selling you the medicine too. There's fact in there. Like this is a punishment from the Lord, just like this monkeypox.
Becoming more and more obvious. Let's get on out of here, y'all.
You know, every Monday night, Black Watch, every Monday night, 9 p.m. live. You could join it with Commander GEN.YAHANNA Monday night live PM, 9 p.m. live every Monday, Wednesday.
And this Monday I'll be in DC. This Monday.
Oh, snap!
Down tomorrow. I'll be hanging in the DC. Get it.
Right.
Okay. You can catch us live Monday. With that, Aloha ya. Barak.
Waraki.
Come on.
Sure.
You know that you are as cold as ice to me. You know that you are.
Take a second, we reflecting with the light, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, nah, that's alright. I got the right at birth, the devil's redefining worth.
Someday you'll pay the price.
No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making though, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue, guess who's on this instrumental with you? Gives a damn if we was family, view unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist, they slayed the man, I swayed the Tim like here I am, the son of Sam is taking shot to David, purple whips, pussy. A different discipline existed in this New York state of mind. Say sin, not no, not the actor, but the year we's effort. Not one thing in mind to grind until this gavel turned his words to mirth from Babel. Since 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on guy bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice. You vouching for the enemy, but look, my father ain't have a father cause of dope. I'm anti-politics cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways to seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vest dipped in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush.
I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't serve another God. Cold-blooded.